It's true. You gotta look over the camera.
Gotta clear my throat.
Take a
what
sip
episode
of
is
water.
this again?
127.
127.
127. What's the math?
I don't know, like, we don't ever put... Wait, no, it wasn't 127 last time?
No, that was 126.
It was 126 for sure.
It was
Okay.
126.
Never mind. We're currently watching UFC 254. Robert Whittaker versus Jared Cannonier. Quick calls right now. Quick calls. Any quick calls?
Jared.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
Look
the
at that
Reaper.
reach.
I'm gonna go with
Cannonier's
the
gonna take his
Reaper.
head
Robert Whittaker, although his head could get crunched off. But we'll see what happens. In the meantime, it's episode 127 of the True North Views podcast. Welcome to all the listeners, all the viewers, of course, of the True North Views podcast,
Yes,
Toronto's official, unofficial podcast discussing hip hop, R&B, and the culture.
Let them know.
Now, of course, as usual, it's your boy Harris here.
Dill.Stewart.
Cheese. Skirt master, Mr. Triple Double himself, 0 assist. Stealing 70 mil from the TTC because I'll be paying. You can call me Just Shola. And as usual, we are giving you our views from the perspective of a few first generation Canadians.
Wow.
Go Swat. I was really took that out. How crazy. Speaking of chips with dip.
Speaking of chips with dip.
Extra dip.
What am I supposed to do again? The plug, right?
Oh, yeah. I was just trying to just do the plug, though.
But like,
I was going to go to Drake's birthday, but let's just do the plug. Because the plug does come next. It was just because you played the Drake...
Right, no, I feel you. I was trying to, like, somehow chip with the dip into follow us on social media. But couldn't connect the dots.
That one's hard to do.
Could not connect the dots at the time.
Hard
It is what it is. But you guys still want to take that action. Follow us on social media at True North Views on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Press that button below. Who knows where it is? I have no idea where it is.
Hit that subscribe.
But hit that subscribe button. Of course, on our YouTube, you're going to find our full episodic experience as we all watch the fight right now.
Well,
I think
we're paying
I could do
attention.
both. I think I could do both. I really think I could do both. So yeah,
We've done
our
it
full
long enough.
episodic experience. You're going to see our eyes glued to the TV in this very moment watching a
bit
UFC
intense right
fight. You can see what's in our background, what shirts do we have up right now. Is the main shirt centered? Who knows? There's so many things going on at once right now, and YouTube is where you're going to get that full episodic audio and visual experience. On our Instagram, of course, you will find random 60-second sound bites. Oh, he's going to crunch us out of oh my god. 60-second sound bites from the respective episode for the week, of course. So different themed topics like music reviews. We did the Benny the Butcher music review. We did the T.I. album review. And just other hip-hop topics that come about as well, such as, is Hit Boy an MVP candidate this year? I think so, but who knows? And then Lil Wayne, is he back in shape? A lot of people said he's not back in shape.
Oh,
he never
really?
got out of shape. I'm like, come on,
okay.
man. Like, just be honest.
Like, be honest.
I know what you're saying.
Just be honest.
It's the stand culture doesn't can never be
I'm
honest.
a big Lil Wayne fan, but you guys, he was out of shape. When he went to
it's
jail.
okay to admit
That's
your
stand
favorite
bias.
went out of shape. I said he's back in shape.
Exactly, you give him a compliment.
You know what I'm saying? Anyways, man, in addition to those 60-second sound bites, you're going to get 30-second daily random sound bites, and we have no clue. His leg kicks are crazy. We have no clue where in the episode those 30-second sound bites are going to come from. And of course, the whole premise there is no matter where you pick up and listen to the True North Views podcast, it will be fire at all
1,000%
times. You know what I'm saying? And on Twitter, of course, you will find random liking, random tweeting, random retweeting, hashtag of the day, topic of the day, whatever it may be. You know, maybe it's UFC discussion.
Maybe
you know what I'm saying? Whatever is going on, just know that at this point, including in this very moment, it's 100% likely that if you see a tweeting spree from the @TrueNorthViews Twitter account, it happened while I was
Meditating?
Meditation, you see, is very important. It teaches you two things. It teaches you awareness. Whitaker's going to win this fight. It teaches you awareness, and it teaches you acceptance. If you can get those two things off, then you get these Twitter fingers popping, and we get episode 127 started.
Let's get started.
So, let's start with the pre-potpourri.
Yes, sir.
Of course, in typical pre-potpourri fashion. Let's start with our weeks. Talk about our weeks. How are our weeks, gentlemen? What did we do?
How was your week, Harris?
Yeah, you
First
start this
again?
week.
Shit.
Yeah, you
I
start
wasn't-
the
I
week.
wasn't ready for that.
Exactly.
I was gonna bounce. I was
Put you
gonna
on-
bounce off of your guy. Okay.
That's what we're gonna do.
My week was okay. Depending on how you look at it. If you want a silver lining it, then it's been a fantastic week.
Okay.
I think I've sharpened up even further in terms of my mental.
Jeez.
I think the
Fire.
mental consistency is there in terms of being sharp. Whitaker's definitely going to win this fight. And what did it take for me to get there? It took me to fumble a 3-1 lead. I was up in a series, figuratively, of course.
Obviously. I hope you're not in the NBA. Like, what's going on?
I had some opportunity, presented to me where I was definitely up 3-1 in the series. Definitely had I was up by at least 8 going into the fourth.
Sample the Clippers.
You know what I'm saying? And somehow, some way, we fumbled the bag.
It happens. Did you learn from it?
I learned from
That's
it.
all that matters, man.
And that's all that matters.
We can't dwell in the past.
Exactly.
It's a lesson.
You know,
It's a
on one
lesson
hand,
like
it's like,
that.
God damn, boy, did I fumble that bag. On the other hand, it's like, you know what?
I know how not to fumble the bag next time.
I'm going to just stay sharp.
That's
You know what I'm
it.
saying? Beyond that, I kind of ate like shit this week. I'm not going to lie. Remember that time we bought all the snacks and shit?
Yeah, and then no one ate it. And no one took it. And I was like, nah, we good.
Unfortunately,
Someone had to
that's
eat it.
all I've eaten since.
I don't blame you, man.
I try to sneak some salads in between. Oh, I'm
You said, I looked at
on
the TV.
completely
Like-
on completely the opposite end of the spectrum. My diet game is crazy right now, though.
That's
Like,
good.
I listed, you know how people put like the names of like 4 people, him and him and him and him on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So if I made one of those with my supplements right now, apple cider vinegar and black seed oil and
Okay.
sea moss and
Sea
kale
moss?
powder and
about the kale, though.
MCT oil and what else did I take again? Some next shit I forgot.
Okay.
But no, I'm on my shit right now, man. I'm on my shit right now, so I'm still, you know,
Shout out to health.
taking
Right?
the health very
Shout out to
seriously,
health.
taking the cell regeneration very seriously, taking the I don't even know what else it does, but it does some good shit for you. So I take that shit seriously, and
Nice,
I'm
lit.
staying steady on that shit. But that's pretty much it for my week. So whoever wants to jump in next, while I please watch this fight in peace.
My week's been alright. I've been trying out this new skincare routine. So like when I my
Is
last
it Fenty skin?
no, I wish.
Yo.
I don't got money, but
Fenty.
my ex put me onto some game with like some healthcare products. I'm not healthcare, skincare products a couple years ago. So I've been trying like different combinations and seeing what's been working for my skin. And then the other day I got a compliment from a girl on my skin. She said my skin was glowing. So, you know, I think I found the right combination for my skin. You know, caramel God's back in the game. You know what I'm saying? But I finally found that out. I've been taking some multivitamins for adults because I don't know, man. I've been waking up in the morning some days and like I feel like groggy, fucked up. So I've been taking that. Yeah, man, it's rough. So I've been taking some multivitamins. I've been taking omega-3s and stuff like that as well.
Krill oil is also one of the things on my list.
Yeah.
Krill oil I
krill
prefer
oil?
more than omega-3.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
But I googled it the other day. Like, they said like omega-3s are great, but like it's more beneficial for your body to actually eat the fish.
Of course.
Yeah.
So you
get
get your body breaks down more of the nutrients other than
course.
taking the
Absolutely.
pills.
Yeah.
So I'm like I'm still taking them for now. I don't want to eat fish like every day like that often. So
Then you get mercury.
I mean,
you
they're
get
only ever
mercury
supplemental, right? Like,
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
not meant to
to
be the
replace.
only source.
Yes.
Right.
It's called supplement. I guess. True.
So I'm just getting back into the swing of things. Started going back for some jogs and stuff like that.
Bless up.
Some push-ups, my jailhouse workouts at home. So it's better than nothing, right?
Anything to get the heart pumping.
Yeah, man. So that's been my goal for this week. So I think I pretty much achieved that.
That's for my week.
Okay, I'm with it.
Same shit, different week. Just been working. Didn't work out this week. Didn't really eat bad, but I didn't really eat great either. Next week's a different week, though. Next week is a different week. I am trying to take opportunity of now that the gyms are closed to
Work out?
Yeah. To beat everyone, push ahead of everyone. Trying to take advantage.
Oh,
like a lot of people aren't going to the gym. My gym is technically still open.
That makes no sense. I forgot.
Got you.
Because I was thinking, I could have done that in March when all those gyms were closed.
I thought you were breaking into the gym.
Oh no.
I wish. I'm like,
I
would you
my
be going
don't
to?
got all the equipment, so it's good. Secondly, EndSARS. You guys see that on Twitter, seen that on Instagram.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you a quick runaround of what it is. SARS is a special anti-robbery squad made in Nigeria. The problem about Nigeria is that it's corrupt, the whole country. So the government's corrupt, which means the police are corrupt. And what this squad pretty much does is they just, what's that thing called when you pick someone out, someone specifically?
Target?
Yeah, but like
I don't know.
Yeah, they pick up
Like
what they consider
profile?
rich. Yes, there you go. They profile quote unquote rich people, and again, it's a corrupt country, so all they want is money.
Yeah.
You don't give them the money, they take.
What I
other
was
things.
hearing was they were like going up to kids and saying, "Unlock your phone and transfer me 10 racks."
Pretty much.
as an
What?
example.
Pretty
and
much.
If they don't do it,
So extortion.
Yes.
yes,
And,
very much
and
so.
because it's a corrupt country, nothing happens. Like the man
What
is
the
dead,
hell?
and the guy walks away.
So what? The cop, the SARS agents are killing them if they're not.
pretty much,
What
they're
the
using that.
hell?
They're using their position as a SARS
That
agent
is
to
nuts.
Yeah.
Which it was created as a good idea to stop because Nigeria is known for it's called 419 where you pretty much sell something that's not yours.
Okay.
Like they'll sell houses that aren't theirs.
Oh wow.
Like I'll be like, yo, see this empty house over here? I'll sell it to you discounted price. You
Jesus.
give me all that money. 2 months later, you're living there. Someone comes and says, yo, this is actually my house.
Right.
It's not your house.
Wow.
So this is what actually was meant to be, and it was more the younger people.
Right.
But now the younger people are on the internet and they're saying, yo, our parents are gone. You're not gonna koala us like you did our parents. Like we're not
That's
just
what
gonna.
it really is.
Yeah. So
And it does speak to the power of social media in terms of
It does.
for good things.
Yes.
I am very happy to say that I have seen a lot of people on my timeline amplify it.
Right.
Yep,
Because,
I'm happy too.
on one hand, when it's an Americanized problem, whether it's Canada or United States, everyone, of course, is going to show at least their moment of caring, whether
That's
it's
true.
real or not.
Their moment.
I like that. Regardless of where it is, it can still be amplified.
Yes.
So I've been trying to retweet everything, sign what I can sign what makes sense to sign. Learning about it, and I mean that's really all we can say. To
That's
people,
all we can
right?
do.
Like
Right.
just
Exactly.
pay attention to the retweets that you're seeing.
Right.
Pay attention to the hashtags that you're seeing.
Spread awareness.
Spread awareness.
Spread awareness.
Just
It's
retweet.
awareness.
All you, like
It doesn't
you always
hurt to
say,
know.
It doesn't. What do you say? It costs nothing to.
Yeah, it costs nothing to retweet.
Right.
Costs nothing to like. Costs
And that's
nothing
all
to
you gotta
comment.
do. I mean,
That's all.
if at the very least, right? I mean, some people, of course, are gonna want to take extra steps into what
we're just
can
saying the
they do.
minimum of what you can do is
But at the
retweets.
very least, you can try to amplify it. Even if you have 20 followers, that's still 20 more people
Right,
that saw
exactly.
it
Exactly.
that otherwise would not have seen it. And those
Perfect
20
way to
will
put
spread
it.
to 20
You never
more,
know.
and boom, there's 400.
You never
so
know
it's
where it
like
could go.
You never really
never
know the
know.
power of
Social
your
media.
network and your social media in general. And just please continue to spread that awareness,
That's
I should
all.
say, right? Let's leave it there, though.
Yeah.
Let's leave it there with the whole EndSARS movement. Let's move on to the music potpourri.
music potpourri.
And in the music potpourri, we have a couple of different topics here. Let's start with Travis Scott.
Wait, let's start with Drake.
Oh yeah, we are starting with Drizzy, I suppose. It is a Canadian podcast after all.
Yes, we
And you
are.
got your take care shirt on.
You gotta take
Oh,
care,
yeah,
sure.
What's
You
going
actually
on?
wore the
What's
OVA
going on,
shirt
my
today.
guy?
I didn't even think of that.
Shit. Shout out to my guy, Noble Authority.
Shout out to
My guy,
Noble Authority.
What's my guy's name again?
I don't remember his name. but
Fuck.
Noble Authority on
My guy,
Instagram.
Deshaun.
Follow them.
That's my guy right there. Noble
Shout out to
Authority.
Deshaun.
Co. You already know what it is with the swag. But what were we talking about with Drake?
Drake's
34th
birthday. 34, yes. 34,
Oh, yeah, that's- I
24.
guess
That's
that's
it.
it.
Just happy birthday to Drake. Toronto's
what can
very
I give
own.
him? I give him this.
Hey.
Do you think they're going to change the color of the CN Tower tonight?
What, like black and gold?
Yeah, something like that.
OVO black and gold.
It wouldn't surprise me, man. Drake runs Toronto.
I saw somebody ask a question. At this point, who's bigger?
Drake.
Drake or
Drake.
Celine Dion? And I said, nope, it's Celine.
It's
Well, I didn't say.
Celine.
I was reading the comments, and I agreed with the comments.
It's
It's like,
Celine.
That's just a weird comparison. Like in Drake and
It
Celine
is
Dion.
a weird comparison. It's two different markets.
doesn't matter.
Is that well in
It's-
terms of like the pop music? It's there's no like, but just Celine Dion versus
It's
Drake in the
legends.
same sentence. That's kind
It's
of weird to me.
legends.
I guess so.
It's
Celine
two different
Dion.
markets.
I just never thought I'd hear that sentence
Celine
like
Dion.
come out in like real life.
I know. Besides, you don't compare them.
Drake compared to Celine Dion, that's wild.
Yeah.
But shout out to him for even being considered in that conversation.
Travis Scott.
But yeah, happy 34th to Drake. I thought he was older.
Yeah, me too.
I thought he was younger.
Like 35.
I thought he was like
For
31.
whatever reason, I'm thinking
I
like
don't know why.
basketball years. So I
Yeah.
feel like, to me,
Close to retirement.
37.
Close to retirement, pretty much at this point.
You know what I'm saying? Look, I told you Whitaker was gonna fold up.
Ooh, this man's
And the fight
stumbled.
guy, his equilibrium is done.
So he's
look
still
how much
in there.
they want Cannonier to have a shot, eh? Like
Still
this
defending.
this is what the UFC does. His equilibrium was thrown off by a shin to the forehead. Like, what are we doing?
He's still cognizant enough to defend himself.
Still going.
That is nuts. Okay, let's move on though.
Yes, please.
Travis Scott. Let's talk about Travis Scott and PlayStation. I don't know if you saw this
PlayStation.
here.
I see. You see the commercial?
Travis Scott posted
saw
on
the
his
commercial.
Twitter,
Like a little video clip?
a commercial. He called it TS5, if I'm not mistaken. I was like, yo, that's pretty
That's
sick.
fine.
That's super hard.
I know that's
Pretty
hard.
sick. I'm gonna read the tweet from PlayStation here. It says it's official. Travis Scott is joining the PlayStation family as a strategic creative partner, which is crazy
That's dope.
to even hear. Let me read a little bit of an article from Hip Hop DX to see if we can get a little bit more context on that. So Travis Scott has teamed up with PlayStation. Just gotta close the ad. I gotta scroll down again for some weird reason.
And then close
Travis
the
Scott
ad.
has teamed up with PlayStation to become a strategic creative partner for the Sony gaming brand. The partnership follows Billboard's record-breaking artist popular collaboration with McDonald's, which launched its Travis Scott meal back in September. I'm really looking forward to be able to showcase everything that Cactus Jack has worked on with Sony and the PlayStation team. Scott said in a press statement, most importantly, I'm excited to see how PlayStation fans and family respond, and I look forward to running some games with everybody real soon. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. First of all, what do we have to say about just him getting that deal? Is it surprising?
I'm not surprised
I'm not
at
surprised.
all. But what I was wondering was, do you think this deal was contingent on the McDonald's deal? Let's say like the McDonald's deal didn't hit as much as they thought it would. Do you think he would have ended up getting this deal, or do you think it was already in the works?
I think like we said last week, a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I think Sony had a very vested interest in the McDonald's performance, but I don't think it would have said, no, we're not giving him a deal,
Right.
because how would they know the real numbers?
True.
And you know how I know
how would they
Sony's
know the
numbers
target?
is through Fortnite. It's through Fortnite. That's why how they got their number. They probably saw anything Travis Scott's done with Fortnite. They probably
Yeah.
saw the numbers and were like,
Well,
yeah, let's sign him before Xbox does some shit.
yeah.
It's true.
That's how I think. I think it's Fortnite that made them realize how big he was.
So speaking of Fortnite, so Travis Scott has now done brand collaborations with the following: McDonald's, PlayStation, as you mentioned, Fortnite, Reese's Puffs, which I wasn't aware of.
Of course.
Nike, as we all know,
Yeah.
and Houston Rockets, of course, we
Yeah.
know. I think he's the global ambassador.
I
if
think
I'm
so.
not
Something
mistaken.
like a
has-
Drake role. Yeah.
For Drake is obviously
Good
global
for him,
ambassador
man.
for the Raptors. Travis Scott. I
Whoever's in
believe,
charge
is
of
the
marketing
same.
for him is like, shout out to them.
When you're hot, you're hot, and people want
Whoever
you when
his
you're
manager
hot,
is,
and
who's marketing him.
they're selling him, they're pushing him.
What's interesting was that
They need a raise.
I'm in one of my group chats here. I'm trying to see where it was. Might be too far in the chat. 1 second. Somebody said, I'm not going to snitch him out because this is a silly question. Am I hating to say I don't comprehend any of these Travis Scott collabs?
Yes. Yeah, at that point you're hating. If you don't understand, no, I'm serious. If you don't understand why a company does a collab with
man.
someone, then you're
Shut up,
hating
my guy
on the
Steve.
person.
That's funny.
That's my opinion, though, because a collab is just a marketing tool. It's not meant to like make you like something better. It's meant to make the people that don't know about it do it.
Exactly, and introduce, and I think at times we kind of how do I say this? We don't put enough value on the fact that we're in the market.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're
part
like,
of the
wait,
market.
why would Travis Scott? Everyone knows PlayStation. I
Yeah.
understand that, but he still brings a whole new audience
Exactly.
to the likability of PlayStation.
Yes.
Gives
Right, I
it
can
gives it
picture-
credibility. You say like or street points or whatever. Like
I think it's street
Cool-
points.
cool
Yeah,
points.
Cool points. If Travis
Because
Scott likes it,
everything
then
is
I have to
about
like it.
inclusivity nowadays.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is.
And that's kind of the thing about PlayStation. PlayStation has always been, they're going to give it to Cannonier, by the way, because they want him to win.
Nah, I can't see that happening. He got bringled.
I don't, look, his face is leaking.
He got bringled. I didn't see him land that many.
What was I saying?
Something about PlayStation and
Credibility, cool points.
I don't remember where I was going with that sentence per se, but the point I was trying to make was that
Inclusivity.
I can picture a 16-year-old. What? You're on the Xbox? Yo, you're joking right now. Travis Scott ting, dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I can picture that.
That's what it is. It's to make other people feel bad about going to. Why would I go to Burger King when Travis Scott has a deal with McDonald's?
Exactly. What? You're not getting that Travis Scott meal? You're a bum, dog.
Exactly.
I can picture that. As silly as that sounds, right? So, I mean...
Shout out to Travis Scott, man.
I mean,
man.
Shout out to Travis Scott.
Anybody that does marketing, they understand it's like people by nature, they're tribal. We're tribal by nature.
We are.
Instinctually, we're tribal beings, right?
We know who should win. Remember I said that.
Of course. I didn't see him land a single punch.
Third round, he won.
You won't wonder.
Rocked him.
Yes.
Bias.
Humans, we're tribal by instinct. So, like, people always want to be felt a part of the group.
Yep.
That's it.
That's
it.
literally it.
Let's move on.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of a group, I want to talk about Def Jam Records real quick.
I see the segue.
And it wasn't bad, eh? Let me get myself done.
Okay.
It's not even the appropriate response, but somehow it works. So, okay, we're going to talk about Def Jam Records, and specifically with regards to Westside Gunn here. As I see the UFC gift Jared Cannonier this decision. Let's see this. I almost want to hear the volume on this.
All three
Oh, never mind. Whitaker won.
29, 28.
Alright, he didn't win it.
By unanimous decision.
Had to be.
The Reaper. There we go. You think they can? You think YouTube can catch us on the copyright for that?
Nah, I think we're good.
Bruce
We're
Buffer's
straight.
voice? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I just
don't
wouldn't
know.
be surprised.
All right, so Westside Gunn makes his case to run Def Jam. He says, I'm actually overqualified. I'm going to read a bit of this article. With Westside Gunn's retirement from the music game on the horizon, which I wasn't aware of, he's already mapping out his next move. The Griselda Records frontman took to Twitter on Thursday, October 22nd, to make his case to be the next leader of Def Jam Records. He said on Twitter, I want to run at Def Jam, but I'm actually overqualified. Def Jam, of course, their president position has remained vacant since late 2018 when Paul Rosenberg left.
Yeah.
Eminem's,
He went to YouTube, right?
Eminem's boy.
Yeah.
I think he went to YouTube, yeah.
He went to YouTube Music with Leo Corin or something?
Yeah. And then we
look at
know
us now,
that,
this shit.
50 Cent in the past obviously has done 50 Cent type of things where he's made himself kind of look to be like the next person up.
Of course. Troy.
But, talking about Westside Gunn a little bit, let's not necessarily have a full discussion about who should be Def Jam's president.
Yeah, it's not
but
that's not our place to say.
Yeah.
I guess let's just maybe have a conversation about, I want to use the NBA analogy on this. I don't like, you know this from group chats that were in Shola, is that whenever a team has a vacancy, I don't want to hear about Doc Rivers. I don't want to hear about
The same
Avery
circle
Johnson.
of
I don't want to hear
Tyronn
about-
Lue.
Even Tyronn Lue is still pretty
Nate
fresh. I don't want to hear
McMillan.
Nate McMillan.
Yeah,
Nah,
even
I'm
Stan
over
Van Gundy, I was kind of not.
Stan
really,
Van,
I didn't really
a 4-year deal for Stan Van.
Someone who hasn't coached in how many years?
Actually, I can see how that works, like with Stan Van, because he hasn't been coaching for so many years, and he's been watching
And
for a lot
been-
longer.
analyzing it.
Yeah,
guess
so
But
that makes more
we're
sense.
tired of seeing the same circle of
Like,
head
Instead,
coaches.
I want what Indiana did. They took the Raptors' assistant coach
From the
I
G
want-
League.
That makes-
From the G League. I want what the Raptors did when they
Yeah.
brought
Nick Nurse,
on
bring
to
someone in that
replace
we've
Dwayne
never
Casey.
heard of.
Yep.
I want what they did with Brad Stevens. I want what they did with even who am I thinking the next young coach? Why am I
The guy, not Phoenix. Steve Nash to an extent. Someone
Even
new.
Steve Nash,
Fresh
yeah.
face.
Exactly.
Someone that has not
So
Right.
I like
been a
that
head
fresh
coach for
face
20
approach.
years, losing, and then comes back.
I
and
like
then
that fresh
joins
face
another
approach,
team.
and I like the experienced approach, right? So
Right.
you're getting someone who manages their own label.
Yep.
You see what he's done with
Proven.
it. And as he says, he probably is overqualified because how often do we see people in executive positions that really don't know what the fuck they're doing, or at
Exactly.
least really don't know enough about the industry?
Or the culture.
So I would love to see
Period.
a Westside Gunn fill that type of role, even
Some-
if it was
yeah.
I'm just naming other names for the sake of naming other names, a Rick Ross type of thing. Obviously, we've seen a
Ross
Jay-Z
would be
type of thing
huge.
in the past. I'm
That'd be a
trying to
good
think
look.
what other execs kind of fit that bill as well, but I would be all for seeing a Westside Gunn type there.
I think that's what they should do, to be honest. Like, anybody that knows what Griselda's been doing for the past how many years now,
Yep.
they'd be insane to disagree with that.
Yeah,
And Westside is a big part of that.
Westside is. I said it last week with Hit Boy. I'm gonna say it this week with Westside Gunn because I've said it for Westside Gunn earlier in the year as well. He's a candidate. He's
For
an MVP
MVP?
candidate.
Okay.
He's definitely an MVP candidate. You have to put his name in the hat. So shout out to Westside Gunn for sure.
real.
Let's move on to Keep It or Leak It though.
Okay.
First,
Okay.
Keep It or Leak It. I think you put that there, Shola, because that don't look. No,
That-
I put that there. I put that
no,
there.
I
actually
put the
that
last
there.
two. I put the last two.
did put that there.
You must have put the first two,
Wow.
I think.
What the hell? That's the name of the link?
Oh no, I renamed the link because when you were talking at one point, I was like, let me try renaming these links.
Yo, this guy always does the most, like, Alt W key. You know, like,
Control Shift T?
one day I closed the tab by accident. I was like, what did Shola say again? Control Shift T. Because I remember you made the error, right? I was like,
Yeah.
Control Shift. And I was like, yo, this shit works.
I'm telling
This
you.
is crazy. Now you can make customized fucking links.
No, it's lit.
Who knew? Who knew?
It just takes the title of the headline and then it makes that the link
That's
instead.
crazy. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, I mean, another Juice WRLD posthumous album is in the works. The former manager basically said on some social media, Juice WRLD's next album is crazy, end quote. I'm going to leave it at that. I mean, let's not overanalyze this, but just keep it or leak it. Do we want more posthumous material from Juice WRLD?
Posthumous?
You know that word.
What? How do you even say that word? I don't even know.
Whatever that word is.
Posthumous?
Posthumous.
Posthumous.
I say
Post-
posthumous.
I say posthumous.
Shout out to hummus.
Posthumous.
Posthumous. in
Either
my
way,
eyes, but
I'm as a Juice as a Juice WRLD fan, I don't want this. Like, I'm that person. Like, yo, let them R.I.P. in peace, man. Like,
Yeah.
Just we're good. We already gave us one, or you guys already gave us one, and we already know that was stretched too. That was not like finished the album work. That was like them piecing with stuff together. A bunch of random freestyles he probably did. Yeah. And so I don't need another one. And it's so soon. It's not like it's 10 years after his death.
Yeah.
It's like the man died. Like I'm still not done mourning the man, and you're going to flood me with more music.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of posthumous.
I'm gonna be a keep that for. I'm gonna be a keep that.
yeah,
Right,
I'm
they
not
could-
mad at that. I would say keep that as well.
Yeah.
Next one. Okay, next one very quickly as well. Next Keep It or Leak It. T.I. and Young Jeezy. So apparently they have agreed, at least verbally, at least online version of verbally, to a versus challenge. Some people have said, I would have rather seen Jeezy versus Gucci. Other people said, I would rather see T.I. versus 50. Or T.I. versus Ross. No, wait, Ross already went. But T.I. versus Jeezy is potentially in the works.
Makes sense.
First of all, let's ask the question, keep or leak, do we want to see this? Are we interested in this?
T.I. is smoking Jeezy, though.
T.I.
Well, that was going to be my second question. But the first question...
you gotta ask everything at once, man. We're already thinking 10 steps ahead, bro.
What was the first question?
do we
we
want
wanna
to
see
keep
it?
this or leak this? Do we want to see this?
Leak it. I want to see this.
I'll
I'm
leak
here
it,
for the
leak it.
verses. Like every single verses that they dropped has been lit, so
Did
I don't
extra
see why this
on-
would be
A
different.
little extra on Whitaker right there.
Okay.
Okay.
A little extra on Whitaker right there.
Okay, look at this guy. It's a little money.
Should be looking alright, man.
A little some.
A little some. The Reaper.
Leak it, man. Let's see the battle. Let's
Leak
see
it.
them
I'm here
play
for
their
the
greatest
verses.
20 hits, and let's see who will win.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for the trifecta, I would definitely say let's leak that as well. And okay, well then, who would win?
I think T.I. versus Jeezy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to T.I. though.
Yeah, T.I.'s got too many hits.
And there's some songs that you can pull out. Just give all
Like
Mac 2
Jeezy's got
points.
hits too. Don't get it twisted. Jeezy's got hits too.
Yeah.
But like they don't have the reach that T.I.
That's when T.I. has the 2-point hits, like the 3-point shots. That's
Yeah.
what T.I. has. Jeezy has the quick, a nice mid range. He'll finish at the rim.
I think some battles are allowed to be bad. And I think some battles being bad doesn't mean the artist who's going to get crushed is bad.
Exactly, true.
Right? I'm aware, we're all aware of Jeezy. We're all aware of mixtape
Yeah.
Jeezy. We're aware of the Snowman. That shit got banned in school.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
And that's why he won't
remember
win,
that.
just because he doesn't have the quote
Damn,
unquote.
when I tell you I wear my Snowman T-shirt, my XXXXL T-shirt,
Down to his knees.
in grade 5, my guy, and they told me to turn that shit inside out because they don't want to see the snowman. That's culture, bro.
I mean,
Jeezy-
that being said, like we said, T.I. just has bigger records.
He has a 3-point shot. He
Right.
has that "Live Your Life" with
He's
Rihanna,
gonna-
and that was like
so-
2008.
I often think about
I let my beat down. Whoa, no, T.I.'s got
Exactly.
too many hits.
24.
That's the
Like,
one.
top back.
Nah. T.I.
You
smoking
can
him.
even low key play.
You can have
shoulder
whatever
lead,
you like.
whatever you like.
Like that's
That's like 6 or 7 already.
exact, and those are like 3-pointers. We haven't hit the mid rangers.
Yeah.
And the records that are just simply too big, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just too big.
Yes.
Regardless of how you feel musically about Jeezy, T.I.
The reach was different from
Jeezy's
Jeezy's
legacy
Yeah.
and this and that. The Hove records. Go ahead, play your Hove records.
And that takes nothing away
That's
from Jeezy.
fine. T.I. still just has too much, in my opinion.
He does. I agree.
1,000%.
Let's move on.
I put this one here.
That's all.
Kodak Black. He's
Okay.
behind jail. He's in jail behind
Behind
bars.
jail.
Behind the
I
jail.
was thinking of behind bars in jail. I forgot what city he is in this time because he's on moving from one state to the other with all the charges he has against him. But supposedly he's dropping a new album and docuseries called Bill is Real. We've not heard anything about him for a while. No singles because again he's in jail. So most likely this is not new music. This is just old music. They need money for his lawyers, of course.
Is there anything interesting about his case?
No, he's probably guilty. It's not. I don't say he's probably guilty. No,
Yeah,
I'm
but like,
cool with
but
that,
like Kodak
man.
has a history of like.
Yeah, you can keep
that shit, man. Honestly.
And I'm with you guys. Keep it. I put it there just because I want us to have a keep and not every week's always a leak. So
Or like leak, or like coming up next.
let's
new
put something
album
we don't
from
want.
Hove. Keep it a leak.
right.
No shit. A leak. I mean.
So yes, Kodak from all three of us. Keep that shit away. Fight your charges and come out safe, and then release some new music. Next one is a sequel to an album we both loved, Slime Language.
Okay.
Young Thug is dropping
Oh.
Slime Language 2.
What up,
Slime
Slam?
Oh wow.
That was one that came out last year, 2 years ago. Remember we talked about we didn't know what it was. It was
Red
like almost like a collab
Oh, it was the. Yeah.
with the skull, I think, with the snake.
Yes,
with the cover on his eyes? That
I
one?
think so, yeah.
Yeah,
and there's
that
a bunch
one
of
was hard.
a bunch of
Yeah,
features
several
on
artists
it.
on
That
it,
one was super
It
hard.
was more like a collaborate, like
Like his slime
compilation
Yes,
thing.
of his
Yeah.
album, his slime seas or slime
100%.
album.
I want that.
And there's a track there with Juice WRLD, of course. He said he announced. So
Yeah, there's
keep
been-
a
there's
leak,
been a
and this is
couple-
coming out November 27.
That's definitely a leak.
Okay. Let me see.
That
If
Yeah, drop that shit tomorrow,
and
please.
that's it. I could drop that shit tomorrow. Actually, after I heard him on Dolla Signs, we'll talk about later. Let's
Yeah.
drop that shit.
We'll talk about that definitely in our new music section.
Word.
Before we get to new music, we are gonna get into our shoutouts. This might be the most shoutouts we've had this year. So first shoutout is in order to Jay-Z. And I hesitated to put Jay-Z on this shoutout list because another shoutout that we have, I really wanted it to stand on its own. But you can't ignore this. Jay-Z launches his first cannabis brand called Monogram.
Hey.
Jay-Z has expanded his business ventures by announcing his first brand of marijuana. The Rock Nation boss has launched Monogram, which is a cannabis line born from his partnership with the California-based company Calva. Hove's brand is not on sale yet, but the cannabis line has begun its rollout with an official website and an Instagram account. Monogram builds itself on having careful strain selection and boasts about its board of cannabis experts who grade and select every flower by hand. Cap.
I think I did this. 'Cause I wanna say, I'm pretty sure everyone says that, but okay.
Although Monogram has not announced a release date as of its press time, potential customers can sign up to be on the brand's website to be one of their first to access it. It's unknown if the cannabis line will be available at dispensaries yet, since it's only touting its availability through the e-commerce platform. So let's give a round of applause to Jay-Z.
Shout out to that.
Sure.
I'm here for black men selling weed legally.
Right?
Yeah, it was-
and get the ones in jail out.
Yeah.
It was inevitable in a lot of ways. If you have that much capital, you go where the next gold rush is, right?
Why not?
And it's cannabis. So
It is.
shout out to Jay-Z for that. The next shout out is in order to Niecy Nash. Let me give her a round of applause.
Oh,
as
it's
this
Niecy.
article
I said
o-
nice.
loads.
Nice. You gotta have the fat nice.
Nice.
Niecy Nash is set to host a daytime syndicated talk show.
Okay.
Presentation of potential series from CBS television distribution will be shot in the near future. So Niecy Nash may be adding talk show host onto her resume. CBS television distribution, the studio behind the Drew Barrymore show, show. Sorry,
Drew
I didn't know
Barrymore
she
has a
had
show?
a show.
It's pretty whack.
I know Kelly
Oh, sorry, it's
Clarkson
not
has a
whack.
I can't imagine watching a Drew Barrymore show and it's good.
Actually,
It's not whack.
Drew
It's just
Barrymore?
it's another white woman
Nah.
talk show.
I'm good.
we
I'm good
already
on
got
that.
enough of these. Like,
I'm
no
good on that,
offense, but
like-
like what does Drew Barrymore do that?
Yo, you see the Kelly Clarkson show? After
Exactly.
that new Vin Diesel. That's where they play the.
Yeah, that's why we lost a new Vin
and
Diesel
everyone's just dancing.
with the screens.
What is going on in the
Yo,
world?
that shit is bad.
That's
They're apparently they're nearing a daytime syndicated talk show set to be hosted by Niecy Nash, of course. Sources say a presentation will be filmed in the near future for the potential series, which is being produced as a co-production between CBS Television Distribution and Ben Winston and James Corden. Interesting. Okay.
James Gordon.
James Corden.
Oh, Corden.
So
He's
he's
jokes. He's
involved
funny.
to
I like
some
that guy.
degree. But no, I mean, shout out to that. I mean, syndicated talk show, like you said, there's too many white women that have
There
talk
is.
shows.
we need
That's
more
just
black
what it
people in
is.
So
media.
let's get some more black people on the national media stage. So shout out
I
to
love
that.
it.
Shout out to Niecy Nash. Third, that was an abbreviated clap, but
Who's next?
Time
there's
is
a
money.
while that it takes too long.
Time is money.
Third shout out is in order to 21 Savage.
21.
Pussy. Shout out 21.
21. 21 Savage, man. 21 Savage launches a new financial literacy course along with a $100,000 scholarship fund.
Oh.
So this was a BET article that I was reading here. 21 Savage has rolled out a new virtual financial literacy course and scholarship program as part of his bank account financial literacy campaign through his partnership with the mobile banking service Chime, which I think we talked about as well at the time. The Atlanta-based rapper has expanded his campaign to include a 6-course online program that is open to anyone who wants help learning the ins and outs of money management, according to a press release obtained by Forbes.
Wow.
The program will cover banking, budgeting, managing credit, and more, with lessons available in both Spanish and English. On top of the course, the program will start giving out more than 100 scholarships of $1,000 each to high school students. In order to be considered, students must submit an essay upon completion of the program no later than December 4th. I'll just read one very quick statement from him. I'm happy to team up with Chime to make this year's bank account campaign bigger than it's ever been. With the new National Financial Literacy and Scholarship Program, I've been an advocate for financial literacy because I believe it can help free youth to focus on more important things in life. So big shout out and salute there to 21 Savage.
Yeah, I respect it. That's a good look.
And our eyes are leering at the television right now because it is, in fact, Khabib versus Gaethje. The intros are being done in the moment. It is what it is. I think Gaethje's going to win this fight.
I don't know about that one. I don't know, man.
Oh, man. Fourth shout out is in order to the Jumpman himself.
Jumpman.
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has opened up his second health clinic for uninsured people in Charlotte. Now, of course,
shout out to that.
I do remember for sure that we did talk about this.
We did.
The first time around.
Yes.
So I'll read a little bit about this article. It gives my family great pride to know that we're making a difference in Charlotte. Back in 2017, of course, he donated $7 million to Novant Health, an integrated network of physician clinics, outpatient centers, and hospitals, to develop 2 medical centers. Both facilities were created to give medical access to underprivileged communities in Charlotte. Clients can be provided with dental, physical, and behavioral health services, even if they don't have health insurance.
Wow.
And that second
huge.
health clinic, of course, is officially open as of sometime very recently.
That's
so
good, man.
shout out to Michael Jordan for that.
That's huge, especially in the States where they have like that healthcare problem. So that's huge.
Yeah,
Very
especially
big.
that it's a debate point to like, it's
Healthcare.
socialized.
I know.
To have free healthcare or it's affordable healthcare. That's nuts. Anyways, next and final shout out goes to from the Jumpman to the Rain Man. I was gonna wear my kamikazes and have them just sitting on the desk. Shout out to the Rain Man, Shawn Kemp.
Jeez.
The Seattle Supersonics legend.
What do you do?
Shawn Kemp is officially opening up his cannabis shop next week.
Oh, I read
It
about
will
this.
Yeah, I seen
become
that.
Seattle's first black-owned
Black-owned.
dispensary.
Shout out to black people. Man.
The Rain Man will be joined by former teammate Gary Payton.
Jeez, the glove.
Grand opening
The
on
glove?
October 30th
That's
at
lit.
12:45.
That's actually lit.
p.m. Shout out to the Rain
Literally
Man,
and
Shawn
figuratively.
Kemp. You already know what it is. Shout out to that.
Yeah, I love that. Shout out to weed, man. Shout out to marijuana.
If I lived in Seattle, I'll probably try and get down there for that opening.
Hell yeah.
100%. You have
Hell
Gary
yeah.
Payton, Shawn Kemp in the same room.
I'll try not to make that the reason why, but
That's
that is the
dope.
reason why.
That'd be crazy.
That would be the reason
No,
why.
they probably have fire everywhere you turn in
definitely.
Seattle. So it's like
You're right beside
I ain't
BC.
worried about little Shawn Kemp shop. I would go just to see the Rain Man
That's
and the
lit.
glove. And the glove, of
GP,
course.
I'd love to meet GP.
New music time?
New music.
Yay.
New music.
New music. What happened to your list this time?
My list?
Didn't you have a list last week of music?
No, he's going off the top.
I was out off the dome.
Oh shit!
Freestyling. List.
Well, I'll be
I
damned.
was confused for a second.
Well, I'll be damned. Okay.
Yeah, but I'll take a look though. there's a lot. There's a
It
lot.
was actually way more than I thought. Cause I was on Twitter the night before, and there was only like a quick list, and I saw like a few albums, like
Yeah.
nothing special. And then Friday morning, I went through my phone, I'm like, wait, I like this album, I like this person,
Facts.
and I'm like, "Ooh, that list was so wrong.
I do want to say, and I know you're not talking about this list, but just another
No,
person
a
that
list.
does drop a list. Shout out to Alex from Need to Know Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He drops a list, a very extensive list at this point of new music that comes out.
See, it's not
every
Alex
week.
for sure.
So go follow him at Ball Till We Fall on Twitter.
Yep.
He does that, of course, every Friday. So salute to him. But yeah, let's get into the albums that have come out this week. Dolla Sign, featuring Dolla Sign, of course, is the name of that album. The Gorillaz came out with the deluxe version of their Song Machine Season 1.
Lit.
They came out with the Amanda tape.
Yes.
Dej Loaf came out with Cell Soul 2.
Even though it was her debut album, supposedly.
Really?
That's what they said. They're pushing as her debut album.
Okay.
They gotta stop with this debut
Yeah, that's
album
nuts.
thing, man. Come on. Honestly, what are we doing? Honestly, let's have the discussion. Davies came out with the deluxe version of Karma 3. Comethazine came out with Bosky 4. King Crooked Eye came out with the Flag EP.
They put the eye back.
Your girl Chanel West Coast
Hey.
shout
came
out
out with
Chanel.
America's Sweetheart.
Any videos? That's all I care about. That's it for Silent Toes. Silent Toes. Now watch me whip.
That's him for real?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, he became a musician after, but it was a one-hit wonder based off the
Wow.
time.
Shout out to
Pete
him.
Rock came out with the 80 Blocks instrumental. Okay, this fight about to start. Man. I don't give a fuck about
Fat
anything else.
Tony? Who's Fat Tony? Sounds familiar. I'll run through the singles while you watch
Fat
it.
Tony.
Okay, so that was kind of it for the albums.
Singles.
Jordan Lucas dropped too.
Oh yeah,
It was an album. I thought it was a single.
Nah.
No, it was like a few.
It was a couple tracks.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah,
More than a
I
couple.
heard it was decent.
his album wasn't that bad.
I didn't
actually.
take it in, but I seen it the other day.
Yeah. Jack Harlow came out with Tyler Hero, Denzel Curry featuring.
That was like the most
Kinada.
like we're not gonna talk about the Tyler Hero track.
I don't really care about it.
But I'm saying,
What's this guy's name again? What's his name? Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow?
That was the
I'm not
most-
sold on this guy. I don't want to talk about this guy really. Like
that was the
He's
most
like-
obvious pairing.
he's a
ever.
plant.
Yes.
That's all I really
Jack
wanted
Harlow
to
is an
say.
industry plant.
But
You
he's
see-
not.
I don't think
Industry
he's a plant.
plant.
I just think
I see you.
he's being touted like
He's a
they're
plant.
trying to push him
What
a
does
lot.
What does a plant mean? Because at the end of the day, you have to be good.
They got implanted. They created and cultivated this kid, and said, "Yo,
But I feel like they do that with every
Nah,
like every label's
don't.
A act is technically.
how?
a
Why is he?
plant.
Why
Because they
why is he an
invest-
A act?
Because they
'Cause he
invest money
is.
in this guy and he's
What was his
marketable.
hit?
What's poppin'? Brand new whip just hopped in.
So I never heard.
options.
Honestly, I never heard that song until the remix. I never heard that song until the remix.
That's
But that's you.
So
I heard
but-
that song before it even blew
Oh my
up.
God,
When was-
he's
when
gonna
was
beat
that?
this
When was
guy,
that?
bro. Oh shit!
When it first came out.
When did it come out?
I don't remember.
Was it
I
years
remember
ago?
hearing it before it even like blew up.
Bro, man's a plant.
He is a plant, but
I see you.
everyone's a plant.
Everyone's a plant.
Everybody's not a plant.
Roddy Rich became a plant.
Roddy
Roddy
Rich is a
Rich
plant.
is a plant.
Roddy Rich is a plant.
Spencer was a plant.
Chance
but
the
he
Rapper.
wasn't
Chance
good
the Rapper
enough.
is a plant.
Chance the Rapper was a plant.
Was a plant.
Is a
everyone
plant.
Is a plant.
Not everybody's a plant.
When they see you have something, they will push the hell out of you.
Of 1,000%.
And they're going to try and make it
1,000%.
seem like
A
you are
million
unsigned because they want everyone to have that. Ooh, I found him before he was
But
signed feeling.
the thing that separates that from the rest of artists, that don't have that is the. What was I gonna say? Fuck, I don't even know. He's a plant. He's a plant. I know it.
But like, okay, I just don't understand what's wrong with a plant.
'Cause
he
it's-
stuffs to take down. Oh my God, Khabib can't take him down. This is crazy. Yo, this is the craziest fight I've ever seen in my life.
Nah.
I want to know. Yo, Khabib can't take him down.
Okay, let's talk about
Peace engagement.
what we listened.
Okay,
to.
singles. What?
It's gonna be a slugfest. It's gonna
There's
be
a lot more singles. I
Rico
think.
Nasty featuring
yeah, there
Gucci Mane and Don Toliver, Don't Like Me.
Oh, I never
Ariana
heard that one.
Grande, Positions, Sawiti. If your man ain't buying you a Birkin while you with him. Back to the Streets featuring Janae Aiko. Koda and Friends featuring Dragons. Her featuring her called Damage.
Quick pause on the Sweetie Janae Aiko. That might pound for pound be the prettiest song ever.
Can't
Oh my
lie.
god.
Yes. I'm never gonna argue that one.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I haven't even listened to it.
Solange, Convencente, whatever the hell that means. Lil Yachty and Sada Baby, Not Regular. Neo, You to Love remix featuring
Okay.
Jeremiah, Queen Naija, and Lil Durk.
Okay. might be
Dante
not too
Hitchcock, Deja Vu featuring Guap Dad 4000.
Which I heard is a good track. I just
Shout
haven't
out,
listened
shout
to
out
it yet.
Guap Dad.
Sci-Hi the Prince called Barcode. Black Thoughts, so this is probably a song that didn't make the album. Quiet Trip featuring Portugal the Man, The
Another one.
Last Artful, and Dodger. Flip De Niro featuring A Boogie with a Hoodie called No 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 No. Kid Leroy, So Done, Lil Tracy, Chrome Heartlands, and yeah, that's about it to be
I
honest.
got one last one. Looney, Toronto R&B artist. Be Cool is the single.
Shout out to Looney.
Shout out to Looney. And did you mention TOBi? Did we mention TOBi?
Oh no, we did not mention TOBi
wow.
because you know what? It came out on a Wednesday.
Okay.
But TOBi made me everything.
Yeah,
But,
shout
oh
out
wait, no,
to
sorry. TOBi Elements Volume 1. I don't know why I
Yeah.
said that was a song
That's
made
the-
me everything. I don't know why you
Shout
said.
out to TOBi. I got a chance to see him live.
You
He's
did.
crazy, man.
He's one of the guys I
super
actually
dope.
want to see live because I found out about
And it
him.
was in a small room. I loved
After.
it. It was like,
Bro,
50
he's
people in that
from
room.
Brampton.
He's from
You got
Brampton, yo.
Tech Rhymes, but that's my dog.
Yo, you know him?
Yeah, we used to. Well, I didn't freestyle, but like back
But
in the
like,
days, like
yeah.
there was like freestyle battles between the schools, like Notre Dame versus Campion. Freestyle battles are nuts, and that's
Campion.
Tech Rhymes.
That's sick.
Edmund
There was a
Campion.
video of him
They had a good track
freestyling
field.
with
Tory
Tory
Lanez.
Lanez,
And he
yes.
slaughtered it.
And he's killed Tory Lanez. That might be Tory Lanez blew
There
up,
it
so it
is.
shows you
The
how
best
good he
control.
is.
Oh man, at least it's only round one. Though.
All
Still
right.
lose, though.
Yeah,
Where we
shout out-
starting
shout out
here?
Toby.
Okay, let's talk about the albums that we listened to. Are we gonna start with Ty Dolla?
No,
or
let's end with
Ty
Ty because we all listen to Ty. I'm assuming.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I listened to the majority of these projects.
Dej Loaf. Who listens to Dej here?
I listened to it on the way here.
Did
Did you listen to Dej Loaf?
Part of it.
Okay, let's talk
Like,
about Dej
Let's
Loaf.
talk about Dej then.
Yeah, we can do that.
So Dej Loaf sells Soul 2, which apparently is the debut.
It is. It is. I read about it.
This one is 16 songs at 52 minutes. Hold on, let me just see real quick if there's a live thing going on for Khabib right now, because Khabib gonna win this fight. It's
So
not worth it.
I'll start by saying, even though I didn't finish this, I am going to come back to it because it's better than I expected.
and I think
that's
that's
the
probably the
theme
best
of
way
the
to
album.
summarize it.
No
Right.
one expected it to be. We'll remember Dej Loaf from that one song.
But see here, okay. So here's the thing. I thought about
Exactly.
this. I really thought about this, right? Because my first instinct was to say this album is better than I expected.
It is.
But it's not from not thinking Dej Loaf is good.
I just didn't know
It's
what.
just not actively following her career.
That's exactly what
I
it
haven't
is.
actively followed her music career outside of Try Me,
Try
which
Me.
of course is her biggest record.
Exactly.
Right.
And then the one feature on Things album.
What I was very happy to hear
Big Sean's
was
album.
track one. Track one was called Bird Call 2. I'll play a little bit of that.
I'm big dog, but they gon' talk like they my size. Married, but I got ties to the rock like I'm Tata.
I love
Just
that.
like
I love
just the
that bar.
tone. I just like the way that it started. This one was
Yeah.
produced by DDS, and DDS of course is the name behind the record Try Me.
Try
in
Me.
terms of her
Try
production.
Me.
So I like that it started with what I was familiar with Dej Loaf. Again, I haven't followed her musically, so I can't.
No one has,
Speak
to be
to-
honest. Unless you're from Detroit, I don't really think you were.
Damn, that's crazy. I can't really speak to whether or not she's always been on brand like this, but it was a good thing for me to hear. Like, oh, okay,
Okay.
I like this.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Yes, it sounds like Try Me. It okay. I like this. I like where we're going with this. Track 3, Cross That Line. That was an early favorite for me on the album.
Okay.
Play a little bit of that one.
Bad bitch with this shit. Free my niggas, man, they innocent. Free my niggas, they all innocent. Niggas thought I was done with this shit. I'm about to start having fun with this shit. Might start throwing ones in this bitch.
Like the production
Lately, I've been
throughout
having
the
fun
whole
with
entire
this
project
shit.
is great, man.
And
Like every single track is not like it's not too overbearing because she has a very unique, distinct voice
Sound,
already. So she doesn't need any beats like that with like the hard 808s or anything like that.
Agreed.
Because her voice is like it becomes part of the beat. It becomes part of the production.
And this track is a good example of why, like, I've never heard on a track like this before. So I didn't know what to expect in this album. I was like,
Yeah.
So when I hear a track like this, I'm like, oh, she can body a track like this?
She bodied it.
Oh. Okay.
What was interesting to me was he's gonna tap. Yeah, he tapped.
He's tapping, isn't he?
No.
I could have sworn he was tapping that whole time. The man's KO'd, fam.
knockout.
He was tapping.
He's tapping. He's
That ref
knockout.
sucks.
I
Wow,
thought he was trying to punch him.
No, I mean,
Nah, he was tapping and then he passed out.
That's tough.
Shout out to Khabib, man.
wow. Yeah. Khabib.
Spoiler alert if you're watching this
Khabib
2 days
crushed
later.
him, boy.
Boy.
Damn, I won everything I needed to win though. I put a little money on Gaethje.
Yeah, one
It
of
was a
those.
big
like,
underdog, very big underdog,
one
like
of
4
those.
to 1.
Put a little sprinkle.
like,
If I
let me
win, I
just-
win.
Yeah.
I put money on the Raptors to win the finals. If it was one of those, if I win, I win.
Dead. Now that we can focus on this, you're gonna get a great
All right.
music review section.
It really is because
It's
we
gonna be
really
fantastic.
enjoyed music this week.
UFC just finished, so the TV don't even matter anymore at this point.
All right, we're locked in.
What I said to myself when I was listening to track 3 Cross That Line, I was like, yo, I like shit talking Dej Loaf.
Okay.
And then I said to myself, her song is called Let a Nigga Try Me.
She's been talking that shit.
Right? I'm like,
She-
never mind.
There's a reason why Remy Ma really likes her. Remy Ma
So-
really likes her.
I think that was track 3 was my moment to say
Oh, she bought this shit. She from
I
Detroit.
like Dej
She's
Loaf
from
more
Detroit,
than I
Detroit.
realize. Because I like this shit talking.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, she's been this, so why haven't I been keeping up with her?
Yeah, it's kind of I
So
can see that.
that was a real good awakening moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
Track 5 also stood out to me as well.
Big Sean.
So that one was produced. That one's called IDK. I don't know, featuring Big Sean. Really like the beat on that one. That one's produced by iRock Says. Let me just play a little bit of that one. Is that his tag for real? Or
Oh,
you
no, I just said that.
Because
My
you
dad
know
would
every
say-
fucking tag. It's crazy.
I like producers. That production's huge.
Where's my competition? Crickets. I don't know who you fucking on, but I can make you nut. I don't know who you talking to, but I can shut you up.
And I'll play a little bit
I
of Big
love
Sean's
those haunting
verse.
beats. Oh, there we go.
I think that's what it was.
The
The haunting. You were talking about it with Metro Boomin.
Yeah, there's something about
so-
it. It's this time of the year. It's kind of cold,
Exactly.
not as sunny anymore. You don't want to
That's
slap
the
her.
music we need.
These
Yeah.
are haunting.
I don't want to hear no Afro beats or nothing like that. during the
Exactly.
winter.
Yeah, when I'm driving down, I need something that's just like, yo, the world is cold.
I'm dead.
Fuck everything else.
So let's play a little bit of that Big Sean verse.
Killing these niggas since the lunch tables. Did everything in the D except fuck Dej Loaf. They gave me the key to the city, but I still kick down doors and embarrass you little niggas acting fake rich round hoes.
Man, Big Sean's been on the features this year. He's been killing it.
Now, some people
He's had
hate
a
Big
good
Sean
year.
lyrically. How do you feel about Big Sean lyrically?
Big Sean- Big Sean's
Specifically
nice.
lyrically.
Big Sean's nice lyrically.
I'm
Big
in
Sean's probably
between.
Big Sean goes between my top 3 and my top 5 like consistently.
He goes in between my
Like,
shit.
give me a scale.
in,
Top,
in,
top
term-
5 of what?
in terms of like popular lyricists, like
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like in terms of rapping raps,
Yeah.
like he can rap, man.
I think when we had prime Big 3 era, like
Yeah.
prime Drake, Drake, Cole, Kendrick. For me, I always had Wale 4, and then I always had Big Sean 5.
And it varies between the two.
Yeah,
for
and
me.
then in some ways, I mean, for me, personal bias, I always had Wale ahead, but I was like, oh, I can see why I'm not mad at people
Yeah.
putting Sean at 4 right now. So I've always held him to kind of that
He's
level.
kind of slipping in my books. Like,
But it's interesting because there's a
Like,
lot of people that share that opinion.
I listen to him a lot and I like Big Sean, but some
Yeah.
of his lines are just like corny. I'm like, really, nigga? Like, you really thought of a line like this?
I
Like,
could see that.
There's a line
but
in
Drake has a lot of those too.
But there's a
bro,
line.
did you need to say that? You didn't really need to say that.
I don't know. There's a line in the Tight Dolla Signs album. We get there, we'll talk about. But that
Yeah.
whole verse, that line, I was like, you put just a bunch of weak. It was just a bunch. Like this Dej Loaf one, he has some solid lines. Don't get me wrong.
I know exactly what you're talking
But in Tight Dolla Sign, and we're
I know
gonna get there
exactly what you're
again.
talking
But
about.
I was just like,
We'll
yo,
get there.
really, this shit's weak, my nigga. Like this is why people roast you. Like you don't come out with verses like this.
Fair enough.
The Paris was fire.
But then there's sometimes he comes up with some verse. I'm like, yo, like his album. I was like, yo, this man's a spitter.
Yeah, for sure.
I get what you mean though. Like
And then-
in terms of being both.
Yeah,
right?
I'm in between.
back
Like
to
some
Dej
days he's
Loaf.
top 5, some days he's bottom 5.
Back to Dej Loaf. Track 10, Tap In, featuring 42 Doug and Sada Baby.
I just want to say 42 Doug is become one of my favorites, low key.
Really, I don't like
It's
it.
something about his voice. I think it's his voice and the way he raps. Like it's
I haven't gotten into it
like
yet.
I just like his. I think it's because he's different. The way he sounds is different. His voice is different. His flow is always different, even though it's not really like flowy. He's just kind of like almost talking in a way. I like 42 Doug though.
Let's play a little bit of that one.
Long as they getting that cabbage, you bitches is woo.
Yeah, I know they be hating, I keep it on me, yeah, I say I'm a player, really gon' play her in the story, I done drove them and crashed them, I'm talking Benzes, talking Porsches, all my niggas get active, you try.
I can't get super into
I
that.
like his voice.
Yeah, I
man.
don't
I
know.
just can't get super into
Fair
that.
enough, honestly. Fair enough. man.
Personally. There's a few other records on here that I like. Benny the Butcher, Conway, Boldy James are
They were
also
on the
featured
track?
on a record.
I didn't see that.
I didn't
one.
see
That
that
one's
one.
called Get Money. I
Okay.
didn't love that record. And then Lil Uzi Vert is on a track as well. That
I
was
heard
called
that
Simply,
track. That's one of the tracks I listened
track
to.
14. And then to close up the album, we have Black on the final record.
Six
that
Lack.
one's called Up. I do want to play track 15 a
that
little
Uzi?
bit. No, that one's called Back to My Ways. And I think this is probably the perfect way to summarize the album.
Fight for your love. Don't fight the one you love. Yeah. They thought that was it possible to do it in your city. He said, yeah, it's possible. Do it in your city. Get off your mama couch. Get off your mama titty. I do it with a passion. Everything in me. You looking at my spotlight. Everything litty. Everything's transparent. Like Benny. Yeah. Back.
Again, just with the title of that track, Back to My Ways Again, I played a few seconds off of that beginning record as well, where she's just says, she's having more fun with it, kind of just getting back to herself. Again, without following her musical career, so I cannot say if this is accurate or not, but
Yeah.
Are you just
to
speaking for
it
me the same way
felt
you're
like-
speaking?
to
You
me,
can
it
tell that
felt
she
like was
enjoyed the creation process
Exactly.
of this album.
like-
It didn't feel like
Exactly.
work.
Right.
Like, I need to drop an album because I need money type of thing. It felt
like
like
much more going back to roots type of thing. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna just make my shit.
Exactly.
It's a pandemic anyway. What the
Fuck
fuck can
on
we
do.
do? Let me
Nah.
just make this music.
For sure.
That's what this album felt like to me with Dej Loaf. What I was gonna say again, and you said it off the top, I definitely enjoyed this album more than I thought.
Yeah,
right? I
that's
mean,
it.
not someone that I actively listen to, not someone that, like
Exactly.
you said, that anyone really actively listens to.
No offense.
But I was pretty engaged for the entire album. Like, I was into it. I think there's enough different sounds on there, enough enjoyable sounds on there. Again, the features on there. A lot of shit talking from Dej Loaf, which is, shit talking in a good way. Definitely a sound that I like from her.
Yeah.
The production, for some reason, felt expected. I guess because Try Me was such a beautiful record from a production standpoint. So it almost felt expected for some reason, or maybe not surprising that the production was as loud as it was. But I enjoyed it. That's all I can really say about it. To me, it exceeded expectations, and I really enjoyed it.
Do you think Detroit's trying to make a staple in the music industry?
Absolutely.
42 Doug,
Absolutely.
Big Sean. Now this Sada
look
Baby's
at-
about to drop probably soon. If you
But
haven't
look
recently.
at how intersectional they are on each other's albums.
And that's one thing I like about. And I've always said I always like when cities come together and blow. Like Atlanta, that's how Atlanta blew up.
Toronto.
And that's what I'm talking about, Atlanta. 'Cause
Hope you guys are watching and
How do
listening.
you think Young Thug blew up? I'm telling you, how do you think
Straight.
Gunna blew up? Like,
No
it's all
shots
Atlanta.
to Toronto. But honestly, like,
Big
work
each other
together,
up.
man. Work together, man.
Big
No,
each other
no more
up.
of this beef and fucking op rap and shit like that. Fuck all that, bro.
I know it's not New York, bro. You wanna know why New York hasn't blown up in a minute? It's because of that.
Shit.
It's too much ops. It literally is all
all
this
op
set.
rap.
True though.
You're rapping this set, and you start making diss songs with each other. The Wu is a gang set, low key. They're beefing with a gang called the Chose. Like that's what the Wu really is.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they have different rappers from those sets, and they all just make diss tracks about each other.
Yeah, that's Toronto.
Like when Pop
That's
Smoke
Toronto
died, the
nutshell.
group called the Chose were just dropping
real.
diss tracks, and
Synergy can
More
definitely take cities further. We see, like you said, we've seen it with Atlanta.
Yep.
Even Cali,
Even
LA,
West Coast.
LA,
West
we're
Coast is
seeing it,
booming
West
right now.
Coast.
yeah, that's what it is. Put each other on,
Detroit's
man.
starting to make that happen.
you
And in a
see
lot of
it.
ways, Detroit always been making it happen to some degree.
I'm surprised
But,
Eminem wasn't on this album.
That was
Like that's how
Or even
much
Royce.
that's how
Royce
much
would've lit, too.
Detroit fucks with each other.
um,
TOBi or they?
You guys listen to TOBi?
I listened to TOBi.
I did not. Again, that was the album I wanted to listen to, but I did not get around to it.
All right, we'll talk about TOBi, and then we'll go to the...
Let's see. I got some noties.
Yes, so that was 10 songs, 34 minutes.
Love it.
You did right. I love it there.
I love that albums are getting back to that short and concise, straight to the point kind of albums.
Except $5
Sign.
But yeah, honestly, like you said, TOBi is a guy from our backyard, from Brampton to Ontario. I almost said Toronto. Me and Harris both loved his first album last year or 2 years ago. Dylan, did you listen to his first album?
I listened to a few tracks of it.
I can't remember. Still, that was the name, Still, and I liked it. So we'll talk about this.
So for me, like, I came into this album with no expectations. I haven't been listening to that much TOBi in a while, but I've been seeing his name like popping up recently in the past year or two. So I decided to come into this album, no expectations, and see exactly what it was all about. And I was pretty surprised, like in terms of his flow patterns, his song concepts, everything like that was on point, man.
Yeah, it was.
He's probably gonna be like one of the next artists to blow out of the city.
He has that potential.
If he continues in this trajectory. So first track, that the intro was okay. Like, it was a good introduction. You can tell, like, if you're writing a paragraph or an essay, it's like, this is the intro.
Yes.
So it kind of had that kind of vibe to it. Then going into the second track is Made Me Everything. So I like that. I like the bar where it's like well spoken for a black man. That's how you give a compliment with your backhand. That bar hit me because, like, me being a person that's gone to school for journalism and being articulate, you could say, I get that quite often, and I've worked in corporate spaces as well, and they give you that kind of compliment.
They think it's a compliment.
Oh, you speak very well. Oh,
it's not a compliment, bro.
Okay. Well, am I supposed to speak? Well, how am I supposed to speak then?
You know what I mean? You know what they're thinking.
Exactly. So I like that he paints that, and he does that throughout the album as well. Just shedding light on certain things that he goes through as a black man in the industry, or a black man in Canada, right? And then track number 3 was the next track for me, which is Conquest. I really, really like this song. It's like, it has like this old school kind of feel, but it's not like old school hip hop. It's like more like jazzy kind of elements, where, like, like the blaxploitation movies, like Dolomite and like Shaft and those kind of movies.
Those type of beats.
I feel like this song could be on like a movie soundtrack for one of those movies. It's really, really dope.
And he has that range as an
artist.
Like, he definitely can dive into bigger work. I can see.
Yeah.
I think a good path for TOBi, a good comparison in terms of where his trajectory can go. I see a lot of Jesse Reyes in a sense where it's like they might appreciate him more internationally than they even do here.
I think so.
His thing is, like, he's not his voice is not one track. Like, his voice can go into so many various ranges.
That's what surprised
me. He's not
me as well.
just a singer. Like, he's actually like a musician. Like, he can make music that sounds like it's supposed to be in the 90s.
Yeah.
And then make a music that sounds like it's supposed to be in the club tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much of a range his voice can go. That's why I really appreciate TOBi.
And then what's the next track?
Silhouette with Looney.
Silhouette. So, like, this track, I like the back and forth that they have on this track. It's really dope. Looney is really good up and coming R&B singer from Toronto. So I like that he actually reached out to a Toronto artist and did that collaboration with that. We were talking
about collabs.
Yeah, that's how you do it. Now, then people that listen to TOBi are gonna listen to Looney, and people that listen to Looney are gonna listen to TOBi.
Yep,
and that's how it works, right?
Beige.
And then track 6, Beige, featuring Harrison. Possibly my favorite track on the album.
Okay.
That's fire.
This flow is absolutely insane on this. There's a couple bars that he says on it that are absolutely crazy, and there's a seamless transition between like his singing and his rapping, so you can go in between like the singing, and then next second he's rapping, and then the flow switch and everything like that is absolutely bananas.
With my bills and all my student loans, hooked up to the 4 on Roman numeral, my soul was dripping slowly at the cubicle.
You see that? Jeez.
I think the comparison that I made to his first album was he reminded me in some ways of Anderson .Paak.
Yeah,
that's a good way to see that. Yes,
that's the perfect comparison.
The way, like, he does, again, Anderson .Paak is a good. He doesn't sound like he goes in one genre only. Like, Anderson .Paak can fit so many like shoes.
That's so
I like
true.
That, and that's how TOBi is. He can fit so many shoes.
Yeah, I think that's probably like the perfect way to sum it up for listeners who are unaware of him. Is that's the type of sound you're gonna get. Like you said, seamless.
The
rap,
transition
singing.
is
You can
just
really
crazy.
do any of them equally well.
Yeah.
You know, again, we've been watching fighting all day. It's a fighter who can switch stances very
Exactly.
easily. Or it's a Khabib type where on your feet you're dangerous, on the ground you're dangerous as well. So, you know, a lot of good things to say about TOBi, definitely. And it's an album that I know for sure I want to listen to. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
And like he touches on that too in track 8 Faces with Sango and Wax Roof, where he has a bar where he's like, who is this nigga, a rapper or a singer? So like even he admits to it, but like he understands that he can do both.
He can do both, and he's really good at both.
So that's what you can see it in his music as well. And another bar where he's I shouldn't be laughing, it's kind of fucked up, but like he's like off with the top like a Kennedy killer. I'm like that. I'm like, bro, what?
Go back.
I had to pull it back a couple times. I'm like, wow. Like, and you can tell that he studies the game. He studies rap because you can see it in the bars.
Absolutely.
He's not just a singer. And the introspection of all the new faces basically that he's been seeing in his rise to fame. So like again, going back to like the concepts in his songs, was pretty dope as well. And then there's track 9, which is Matter. For the first, like I was gonna skip this song like halfway through it, to be honest. But then the beat switched like halfway through the song, and then he went into like the spoken word kind of thing, and I really enjoyed that. So that kind of saved the track for me, to be honest.
And last track?
Then last track is track 10, Still Singing. So this, like, again, going back to like the essay analogy, like if the intro was the intro, this is definitely an outro. Like the song sounded exactly like an outro to me. So basically he sums up like his growth and like his rise to fame, you could say, with stories of his come up and just going through like talking about his dad, talking about his pops and stuff like that, and how he started out singing and actually rapping. So it was pretty dope.
Do you guys have a rating?
I'll listen to this once through thoroughly. I like TOBi a lot, so there's gonna be a bias. Like I'm gonna give it like an 8.
Yeah, you gave his last album like a 9.7.
I like him a lot though. Like I really I like what he talks about. I like his voice. I like his style. I like that his albums actually have like a concept to it. It's not just a bunch of loosies. Like,
I love that.
I appreciate the amount of effort he puts into his work, and you can tell.
1,000,000%.
That's why I give him such a high. And he's from Toronto, so you know we got to beat each other up. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
So for me, I listened
to
it a couple times, like maybe like 2.5 times, and then in those 2.5 times, I got 6 out of the 10 tracks downloaded to my playlist. Because I'm very picky when it comes to music, so I'm very selective. Sometimes it depends on like how I'm feeling, how I'm feeling that day. If I ate food, if I had any chocolate,
it makes sense.
So like it might change like throughout further listens, but so far I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10, which is still a decent album.
It is,
like, you know what I mean, like it's still pretty good, and I'm sure he'll surprise me more in the future.
Shout out to TOBi.
Shout out to TOBi for real. Shout out Bramson.
That's TOBi Elements Volume 1.
Okay. So before we get into they,
let's run through. Before we get to they, sorry.
Before we get to they, just a very quick mention. Pete Rock did drop an instrumental album. That one's called 80 Blocks. 80 Blocks Instrumentals. Just simply put, I used to have my automatic download of the week. It is making an appearance again.
Jeez.
This is an automatic download, just a very enjoyable instrumental album. Pete Rock, of course, is a legendary producer.
Yep.
For those that are just unaware. Great listen. That's all I can say. Great listen. Please go listen to that. Please go download that. You won't regret it. And we did not get around to Ariana Grande, but I low-key want to. I just wanted to make sure.
We're going to evolve our taste buds. You know, we got to start dabbling into other genres a little. Huh?
You want to listen to her too?
Why not?
She's a great singer.
Exactly.
Great vocalist.
Like people don't get this big for not being good. That's the way I say it, especially in pop. Like you gotta have something.
She's in that super pop category for me. Like unless she comes up with some R&B shit, which I'm sure she would kill.
You're not into
that. Okay, let's move on though. We're not here to talk about Ariana Grande. We're here to talk about they. They released the Amanda tape. 10 songs at 33 minutes. What I really liked about this week, we are going to talk about, of course, Dolla Sign later on. We just talked about Dej Loaf. We talked about TOBi, and we're talking about they as well. I haven't really had a consistent alternative R&B palette for a while. You always get that feeling where you want to dig back to the
Yeah.
projects that came out earlier this year, but I almost didn't know which one to refer to.
Okay.
So I'm glad that we have multiple records, or multiple projects, I should say, this week that fit the bill for that. They definitely fits in there as well.
Yes,
I
they
almost
do.
didn't know what I was gonna expect.
Because you didn't listen. You don't listen to the.
I don't actively, but I kind of do.
You've heard a few.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to They. A funny story about They. I was actually supposed to interview them. So I was
shit.
I was living in Sudbury like a few years ago. When they first dropped, when I first heard that song, na 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 na.
I know what song that is, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I do know that record though.
You know what I'm saying? So
But the
when
melody
they
was
dropped that
awesome.
song, I reached out to them because they had a show coming up in Toronto. This is when I was still doing my internship with Canadian Dope. So I reached out to them and said, hey guys, like I'm blah blah, I'm doing this with Canadian Dope, one of the biggest platforms in Canada. It'd be a really good look if we can interview you guys. They're like, yeah, come through. So but mind you, I'm living in Sudbury. Sudbury's a decent 4.5 hour drive if you're driving slow. If you're me, you can get there like 3.5 hours. But so I reached out to them and said, yeah, cool. Well, talk to my manager, blah blah. Manager said it's good. Bless. All right, cool. So the day of the show comes, I'm driving down to Toronto from Sudbury. Then halfway on my trip there, they cancel their fucking interview.
Oh shit.
Like, oh, sorry, we won't be able to do it. We gotta go back to the hotel. I'm like, no, I did.
Zoom didn't exist at the time.
I went back to the city and see my family and stuff like that. But like, I didn't end up going to the show. It's like fuck them. But like, shout out to you guys though. Disappointing, man.
Yeah,
so
I hope so.
Hopefully next time they come to Toronto, I'll get the interview.
Yes, I like They a lot.
I fuck with the music heavy.
I love their, like, he's an alternative R&B. I love that.
Yeah.
And they do it well.
Just to give you a feel for it, right off of track 2, even off of track 1, but track 2, Count Me In.
And I mean it, if you need it, if you need me, if you need me, baby, just count me in.
So that's kind of the BPMs that they're operating in,
Yeah.
so to speak. I did like Tinashe on track 3. That one's called Play Fight.
That's one of my favorites too.
Keep on running your mouth, keep on getting me started.
Shout out Tinashe. Hey Tinashe.
Yeah, I like this little resurgence that Tinashe has going on. It's very consistent.
She got
at
dropped
this
by her
point.
label.
Yeah.
Like last year,
And
year.
it's worked for the best.
Yeah,
it seems.
for real. She's been working.
She's definitely been working, and I like the consistency out of that. Track 4, I really liked. That one went straight to the playlist.
I bet it did.
That one's called All Mine.
Pussy will always be mine.
Yeah.
Wow, of all lines of all places to pick up, right?
That's all. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm pretty sure every man has a little story that will always be theirs. Like you hit her up, like, yo, what are you saying?
I mean, that's very
I'm
assumptive.
pretty sure every man does. And if you don't, you're a liar.
I plead the fifth.
So the playlist.
Yes. Track number 5.
The playlist has almost 50 records at this point. I think it's up to 48 now. So shout out to
the playlist.
TMV Presents The Playlist. Look it up. And you'll have a great time with this lady that everyone has to call. So let's move on to track 5. Track 5 to me was hard.
This is my favorite track.
That one was
a
called
hard track.
STCU. What does that shit stand for again?
Shoot the club up.
Shoot the club
Shoot
up.
the club up.
You gotta shoot the club up.
That's a Juicy J line for you. You know Juicy J is the one that named this song.
This is my shit right here.
Not that shooting.
All up in a gut, let's shoot a movie. Cut these
Jeez.
songs I cannot trust.
Very, very Juicy J-esque, as you said.
I
It
fuck with it.
definitely-
All up in her.
That definitely fits his sound.
I super fuck with it.
It's track with Wale.
Track with Wale, Losing Focus. I really like Wale's verse.
Oh, I
on that.
love
killed
this.
this.
This is probably my second favorite. Like 1A,
When
1B.
Wale starts rapping about women, it's just
Oh.
it's always going to be a
Wale's
good record.
good.
1,000%.
It's always going to be a good. Look how old this is. Bruce Buffer is
That's
still
what
the
I'm saying.
announcer. Holy
Hey, we
Black
couldn't
hair,
get
everything.
full screen.
shit. Wale.
Nature wars. I ain't trying to make a wife. I ain't trying to make a force. I ain't trying to let my ego make you be my greatest loss. Lavender in the
Ego Death.
call me when you get up. You be raspy, I be in love. Happy the niggas text and see half what you really are.
Does.
Happiness to
Yes.
you clear, so
Yes.
Sally, I'm
Yes.
saying
You got me losing my focus. Jeez.
Hard.
That's a banger.
I mean, again, what can I say about They? It was definitely enjoyable. Like I said, alternative R&B is what you're going to be getting from them, and it was done at a very high level this time around, as they always do. I like the very selective features. It's only Tinashe, Juicy J, and Wale. That is it.
They already had like a little drop with all the features. Remember that one had Wiz Khalifa, Jeremiah, Vic Mensa.
I do remember that.
I remember that.
But overall, I like it. This has some playback value for me. This has playlist value for me.
Definitely does.
I can see myself just saying, you know what? I feel like bumping alternative R&B. I'm gonna throw on that new thing.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
That's what I get from the Amanda tape.
I like them a lot. I've been listening to them for a while now. I'm not saying anything about that. Just saying that. And honestly, every time they drop, I'm excited for the release because I never know what to expect, but it's always good. They've never disappointed me. So, solid tape by these guys, and definitely a lot of replay value, like you said.
1,000%.
There's some days I'm just going to put in this album and I'm driving from work. That's what it is.
That's it. Are we talking about Ty Dolla Sign now?
Let's go Ty Dolla Sign.
Dolla Sign. Let's talk about Ty Dolla Sign. This one, of course, is called Featuring Ty Dolla Sign.
Horrible name.
20.
I just want to add that.
I don't think so.
I think that's a great
I thought that was
name.
a bad name.
I think that was a great name.
That's
I'm
amazing.
not going to name my album featuring me. Are you dumb?
Well, if you only have one MO,
Well, that's
That
the
is
thing,
true.
right? That's the thing.
He
Right?
is
So
known as a
his
feature.
his
that's like if
major
the baby called his album One Flow.
that'd be fucking great if he did that.
That's a lot of self-awareness.
That's marketing, and that's the thing. So that's the major thing
That's
that people
true, I
say
guess.
about him, right?
Self-awareness.
He's only a good feature artist where he only does features. He doesn't do that on his album.
We did say that he was on every feature, on every album.
Yeah,
We said
exactly.
Expect a Ty Dolla Sign feature on.
Well, I
at least
mean,
once.
and again, we spoke in the past about potential, because we're not in their heads.
Yeah.
Potential intention, right? Like, certain mans in NBA just want to get the money.
That's all. They're cool
that's
coming off the
7
bench.
generations of wealth.
They're cool.
I don't give a fuck about a ring.
Cool
Right.
being the 10th man.
That's your little whatever. I'm creating generational wealth.
Exactly.
And it's not. I wouldn't put it past any artist to say I'm gonna just create a feature. I
Fair
never
enough.
have to think about a body of work. I never have to think about cohesion and production and who am I gonna work with and who am I gonna feature, etc. I'm just gonna write a verse
Send it out to people.
and make $100K off of it.
Make a few back.
I'll do it.
Fair
You know
enough.
what I'm saying? So you
1,000%.
can never really be mad at the potential
Fair enough.
intention of an artist like
Ty
Ty
Dolla
Dolla Sign. But the album name to me, I really liked it. This one was 25 songs at 59 minutes and 59 seconds.
And kept it under the hour for
I
1
think that was
second.
done intentionally.
I
don't
think
know
so
if that's,
too.
I don't know if that's just me. But somehow, some way, that did make it way more digestible.
Really?
Right? It didn't feel long at all.
Because you didn't hear that 60.
It
You
just
didn't pass
did
that
not.
60.
I don't know. Like, did it feel long to you guys?
Yes.
No, it didn't actually, because like a lot of the stuff there was like the interludes and stuff like that where they
And
weren't
that's
actual
true.
tracks, so it
And
kind of
even
made
shorter
sense.
records. Like, some records were 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
Kind of like I did get further in the album than I thought I was at
Yeah.
one point. Like when I looked at it, I was like, "Oh wait, I'm way more further than I thought I would be." But
It's just to
What
some of
tracks you
the
guys
some of the
like?
lengths. Like the intro's 25 seconds, the second song's $1:46, then
The
2:33,
interludes.
then 56 seconds, then 2:23. We have another 47 seconds in there. We have a 109 in there.
it's still long after 60
26
minutes, though.
seconds.
Let's not deny that.
There's a 5-minute record.
It is 25 songs. But let's get into this album itself.
I got different tracks than the list.
Oh, do you know?
Yeah, a couple of them, a couple different ones.
Okay, let's start with track. I think you meant to write track 2 here.
Yeah,
That's why I put. That's why I put it in red. I wasn't
did,
sure.
I did. I think we might have to blame Ty Dolla Sign.
Yeah, honestly, wait. Sorry. Some of the transitions though were amazing.
Yeah, great.
Like there was one down there we're probably not gonna talk about because I didn't write down the Dr. Sebi to
Yes.
the one with Gunna.
I do
That
remember
transition.
that. Yeah.
I played that back
I
like
had to
3
look back and
times
wait,
in
was
a
Gunna
row.
on the Dr. Sebi.
He's
I was like,
not.
is this Dr. Sebi? Like, this doesn't sound like what? This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
confused.
that was fire. That
Like,
those,
oh, shit, it's
some of those
different.
transitions were fire. Like the 1 to 2, I think was fire.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I think we have to blame Ty Dolla Sign for a little something. This is track 2 called Status.
See, need a casket. Then I threw my neck a pool party. I told Ye to drop the OG new body. I told Ye to run for president.
So Ty Dolla Sign told Ye
to run.
to run.
for
So if
president.
Donald Trump wins, because too many people voted for Kanye,
We
you
blame
know
Ty
who
Dolla
to
Sign.
thank. Thank Ty Dolla Sign.
By the way, he threw his neck a pool party. I thought that line
That
was
was
fire.
nuts.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't know why that line is fire to me.
Through his neck a pool party.
That's a bar.
So that was-
Ice all around his
I mean,
neck. Like
yeah.
it's
that's a bar.
because
It
every
is,
picture.
though. It is. No, it's hard. I'm hating.
Track number 6 is actually track number 5 on the album. I just want to say that the track name is called track number 6.
Yeah. I thought it
okay,
was track
got you.
6.
It's actually
that
track
threw me
number
off.
5. Because I remember I was doing the count. I'm like, I even
No,
went
it's 6.
what? okay, Instagram. Spotify was missing one then.
No, come on, you're tripping. I'm looking at Spotify right now. Track 6.
Yeah,
featuring
I did the
Kanye
count.
West, Anderson .Paak,
1,
and
2,
Thundercat.
3, 4, 5. Oh shit!
I'll
it is
be
track
I'll be
6.
honest with you. I know we are gonna go into some of the names of some records, at least the ones that stood out to us. But
Yeah.
you know what I can say to even somewhat shorten this. To me, there's no record that stood out. Period.
I'll say this
It
way.
just sounded like one big
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, I agree with that. There were records that I could have done without.
There's
a lot of records.
I could have done without half that album.
I could get into my summer of the album, but I could have made this a 12 to 14 song album, and it would have been one of the hottest albums this year.
Yeah, I was saying.
But the fact that it's 25 just threw it into a whole different like.
A lot of the album is forgettable for me. Like, I was thinking the other day. I'm like, bro, like this album would be like Ty Dolla Sign would be a fucking great R&B artist if Drake just wrote all of his R&B songs and then Ty Dolla Sign sang them.
I agree.
But and then okay, so this is where I almost try to get real with myself and I say, well, who is Ty Dolla Sign? Is he supposed to be?
Is he even an R&B artist?
Is he? No.
He's not.
But he can sing though.
But is he even like? Can he ever be a solo act? In my opinion, he can't.
He a free TC and was fire.
He definitely can. And I'll
Beach
tell,
House
I'll tell
Party
you why.
3 or
It's
4 was
2020.
fire.
I'll tell you why. Because you can tell that his direction of this album, this is all his idea. If he locked
like
in,
it.
he's a producer as well. So if he locked in with a real producer where they can give him structure and give him some type of concept to work around, he could be the biggest artist in the game right now.
Again, like I said, if
I
this
don't
was
think he will ever be.
if this was 12 to 14
But
songs,
that's the reason why.
it would have been the most fire album this.
That's the reason
I
why.
would probably say one of the
Yes.
hottest albums this year.
He thinks of it. I'm not Ty Dolla Sign, so I can't say. I'm just like I'm putting myself in his
We're talking
shoes.
shit on a podcast.
Exactly.
Ty Dolla Sign in his mind thinks like, I'm Ty Dolla Sign. I don't need anybody to tell me what to do when I'm in the studio. I'm gonna do my album. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it this way. This is the direction that I'm
that's
going
fair.
in.
Fair enough.
But I just don't like. To me,
don't like
Ty
it?
Dolla Sign will just be in one lane. To me,
Yeah,
he's a specialist.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I don't look at him as like.
I call him the hook
Like,
specialist.
again,
1,000%.
Let's use basketball analogies all day. You have and I'm not even hating on the player because he's a very complete player. But you see someone like a Klay Thompson as an example. He's not a number one.
No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
he's
no
not.
matter what,
He's
I'm
not.
not giving. Well, technically, you got to give Klay the max. But
Oh, no, yeah, I get what you're saying.
if I'm the Knicks and I'm like Klay Thompson's our superstar, no.
You're not building a. You're not building a
Klay
team.
You're not
Thompson would be
building a
Klay
team.
Thompson without Steph Curry. I'm not saying he would be bad, but the whole point was that Steph Curry got a lot of
So
the
now,
attention. That's
Hear me out.
And I agree
Hear
with
me
you.
out.
That's why I'm agreeing
You're
with
not
you.
building a
let's see
team
where this is
around
going.
Klay Thompson. You're not building
Building
an
an
album
album.
around Ty Dolla Sign.
And I agree with you
That's
with that.
it.
Fair
That's
enough.
why he has 2,000 features
That's
on
why
it.
it's just a
Exactly.
song dump. That's why it's just dumping songs.
It makes
on
sense, but that's what I'm saying. Like if he locked in with somebody that can take like the reins or the mantle at the
Westside
creation
Gunn, for
process of it,
example.
or even like put like Dom Kennedy. Dom
would be
Kennedy's
cold.
mind for music is insane. If you put Dom Kennedy as an EP for his album, or even Hitmaker for an EP for his album, are you crazy? You
would
know
be
what kind of
fire.
music he'd be dropping?
Imagine they
Nobody
produced
would be
this.
fucking with Ty Dolla Sign in the game. If that was the
Imagine he
case.
produced this. This would have been a fire.
It would have been
album.
out of here. But because Ty Dolla Sign thinks that he's Ty Dolla Sign, I'm a superstar, it's never gonna happen.
His
Until that
trajectory is
happens.
very Dej Loaf-esque.
Very.
He's bigger than Dej Loaf. That's the reason why he was.
Bro,
it's
Ty Dolla
not-
Sign
He is,
is
but I'm saying,
arguably
like-
forgettable. In 10 years, Ty Dolla Sign is
Yes,
arguably
yes.
forgettable.
Arguably.
Yes.
And that's the thing. Like, I get both sides of it. As memorable as he is
He's
forgettable.
still forgettable. Yes, I agree with
Right?
that.
I very much agree with that. I think that's actually a perfect way to sum it up. I don't know how much we want to go into records.
I just want to say, Big Sean.
I like that.
His verse was weak. His verse was weak. I had to bring
There
that
we go.
back.
So that
Let's hear a little bit of it because it was
That one's
actually kind of
called
funny.
Tyrone.
I chuckled a little bit when I heard it. I'm like, this is funny. You're a funny guy.
That one's called Tyrone 2021 featuring Big
That
Sean.
song would have been a
track-
banger if you didn't fuck it up.
Track 11.
Yes.
Good. Girls like that always up in the club. Been with some girls like that.
All this shit I wasted on you, time and commas. You don't act like you my girl no more. You act like you my mama, and I never date my mama. That's fucking disgusting.
What are you even talking about, my good sir?
I feel like you lying.
What are you
Like
talking about?
that line pissed me off so
that whole
much.
like 4 bars was unnecessary.
It was
Like,
actually-
and that's why-
it's funny. I was folding my clothes up. I was like,
And
Like,
that's why I'm like,
nigga,
yo,
what?
sometimes like really like
doing?
that's the best bar you could think of
Like,
writing.
nah, you gotta go back to rewrite that
Like,
shit.
who let you say it? I was like, yo, that's
You gotta
fire.
rewrite that
Who
shit,
was in
bro.
the studio like, yo, that's fire, Sean.
what
That's
is he doing?
fire.
Nah,
that's
bro.
weird.
Track 12, Real Life, featuring Mustard and Roddy Ricch. I hate that Roddy Ricch did not rap on the same beat that Ty Dolla Sign was singing on.
That track's
because the beat was fire for Ty Dolla Sign. I was waiting for Roddy Ricch to come in, and then the beat switches up to something slower. And
that made it a miss.
It was like it went from hot to like not being there.
I like
Mediocre.
the Kalani record.
That was
track
still.
16 featuring Kalani.
Yeah.
Kalani is on another planet to me right now. It's crazy. It's
Shout out
crazy
to
how good
Kehlani.
she is. It's actually insane. To me, that's actually one of the better records of the album, period.
It was good.
Track 17, Future and Thug. I feel like they always go well together.
That shit was fire.
Let me play a little bit of that record.
Thug sounded like he was in a choir at one point in that song.
Yo, what he was keeping up with Ty a couple of stanzas.
He was.
I'm like, oh shit, you got range for real.
Let's play some Toxic Future.
Ain't banging friends gonna be the one to protect
Toxic
you.
Future.
You been turning up ever since that nigga left. Oh, baby, nasty. All 9 cabins. Ghost like Casper. Those open backwards. Oh, you're a ballerina. Tipping on marble.
Fire.
Actually, can we play the end of Dr. Sebi?
Yeah, to see the
The last 15 seconds.
Call your driving came without a roof. Racking came with foreign shoes. Make sure every call your
I love this young thug.
Make sure every bitch you fucking show you the whole crew just because you're tycoon.
Bitch, I pay my dues.
And the song changed.
Shit been real. But we made it through.
I think that's actually the perfect way to end the music
Part.
track by track breakdown of it, because
That was two songs
was-
you heard, by the way. That was a transition from one song to the other.
that was a big part of the value of the album for me, was the transition of it.
And that's why I hate I couldn't isolate some track. Like this track here, I like that transition
Mm-hmm.
part, but I can't isolate like that.
I think for as mediocre as I thought the album was,
Oh, mediocre.
Damn, that's a
I
big
wanted
That's
to
a bit of
I
a
wanted
tough
to
one.
also just enjoy it for what it was.
Yeah.
Using the ASAP Rocky reference, of course, the testing
Yes.
reference for that. I just wanted to let it
testing.
play and enjoy it for what it was. And
Right.
I think that transition in it, I think I just need hotter weather for this.
I feel like that's what it is. This is
Maybe.
like summer records.
This is summer
like
records.
windows
Yeah.
down.
You
I'm
know what
driving.
this is? This was like us at what's the dude's pool? I don't know. I don't want to say his name. but-
Yeah, I know.
Us at the
Mono.
pool.
We'll just say that.
and
This is what you put on. You put on
and
speakers.
some,
Meditation.
Medicated.
and then you played a record, and
Yes.
I'm like, I'll be there like, wait, what record? is
Exactly.
this?
That's why like you're just chilling in the
Yeah.
sun.
Exactly. But this one, my
Buttons all
mind
open.
is too active in autumn.
It
These records, they weren't it for me per se.
I like the R&B tracks though. When he did do the R&B, like the track with Music, Soul Child was
Yes.
absolutely phenomenal.
Like I said, if this was 12 to 14 songs, I feel like it would have been fire.
Yeah.
Like there were some tracks that would have been like fire. I also like.
the Kid Cudi track was nice too.
I like that. Again, that's one of those I could have done without. As much as I like Kid
That was an
Cudi.
early record, right?
That was track
I
number
hated
2.
that one.
Or track number 3. It wasn't. I wasn't a big fan.
was
I could have done
like,
without it.
This is passion, pain, and demon slaying type Cudi. This is not,
Exactly. It's not Man on the Moon.
This is not Man on the Moon.
I
Cudi
call
right now.
Ty Dolla Sign an energy act, if that makes sense. And like Quavo, like the Migos, those are energy acts. And what I mean by that is like they don't really give you anything of value.
Like they
Yeah.
need the audience there.
they
to
need
perform.
like, they need features. And
Right.
that's why I want them to
Right.
do more albums like this, more collab albums. Because honestly, I'm not really trying to listen to 20 songs of Ty Dolla Sign.
Definitely not.
What are you really telling me?
I agree with that.
And
Definitely not.
that's why I like this album. Cause I felt like it was more of a collab album. And Ty Dolla Sign, like you guys said, he knows his lane. He knows he's not going to create 20 songs of just him.
yeah.
And I want to see more energy acts.
But he
people-
could though. That's
I
the
don't
thing.
think he can.
That's the problem. I think
I just
he's.
don't think.
I think
he
he's
can.
boxed himself in.
I don't
too
think he
much
has
at
the.
this
I don't.
point.
You know, I don't think he has either. I don't
The
know.
drive?
The drive, because he knows he can do this so easily, and I can bang like 500 of these and just put an album out whenever I want. Or if you just fucking just lock in and create something.
I feel like he
He
just.
he doesn't
like
care. I think he's just collecting a check like you
Yeah.
were saying before.
I feel like he
doing it
just
for the
makes
money. Like,
hooks
fuck it.
and just sends it
you,
out.
You can't hate. You can't hate on that.
He's like, oh, you have an album coming out? Send me some songs. I'll create
Can't
some
hate on
hooks on you. And he creates hooks.
can't hate
They
on
pay
it.
him
You're
his
working smarter, not harder.
120,000 and that's it.
And I gotta respect it.
Hey man, exactly. So like you said, some people just want to get the money. They don't care about being
But
the
just
best.
do one. Just do one for the fans, bro. Just do one for
Free
like for
TC.
us.
Because things like he
did it.
has a fan base. Like look at
does.
all of us listen to all 25 songs of this.
Yeah.
But something about
That's true,
it.
that's
Shout out to
true.
Ty Dolla Sign,
Shout out to
man.
Ty
So I
Dolla.
guess before
Dolla Sign.
before we get off this album, in that case, before we get off of this album officially, do we have any kind of rating system for it?
Yes.
Tell me your rating.
I'll start. I liked it. I liked the features. That gave it a positive. The length gave it a huge knockdown. I'm giving it like a 6 out of 10.
I'm not mad at that.
It's not even 6.5. It's just too long. Again, I could have used I could have not used a lot of these songs, and yeah, that's it. Just you got to know how to cut your album.
So do you have like Dylan? Do you have a weighted average formula for albums or something? Because you always refer to your phone.
So basically what I do is after my first couple listens, I download the songs that I actually like.
I do the same
and then
thing.
I compare it against how many songs are in total of the album. So I got 11 out of 25 songs.
Okay.
Which is it's not too bad.
It's not too bad,
right? So for me,
especially when half those songs are not
like,
half, but
so like a lot of them are like the interludes where like they're just talking. There's not many songs going on at that time. So 11 out of 25 is pretty decent for an album that I thought that I didn't like.
That's
right,
true.
but it's pretty good, man. So I would say maybe 6.8.
6.8. Okay.
6.8, not quite a 7, but 6.8, 6.5 maybe.
And
Okay.
speaking of weighted averages, before you go, actually for album of the year, I'm actually creating a spreadsheet. I'm actually going to try and use to use all like on this length, replay value, first listen value, and then put like a 1 to 10, and then rank it at the end. Okay. But that's a work in progress. You guys will find out at the end of the year.
Minute.
Yeah, it definitely
It's
will.
gonna be interesting.
Gotta shout.
I want to see that. Because that's the only way I can make because my album of the year is just gonna be, I like this album the best, and it came out last, so I'm gonna like that.
Yeah.
I need to go back to January and try and remember why I like this album in January.
I'm gonna rate the album just to finish this off. I'm gonna rate the album pretty much in line with you guys. I actually give it kind of like a 6.5.
Okay.
Again, I don't dislike the album at all. I enjoy it. I think there's a lot of enjoyable songs on here.
They are.
I do specifically like the R&B songs, and I wish he would stay out of the West Coast direction, if that makes sense.
Is he from the West Coast?
He's from Cali.
Yeah.
There, you can hear it.
And and I expect that. But, I almost like, if you're gonna be in that realm,
stay in that realm.
I almost feel like, and she's not West Coast, but I almost feel like Dej Loaf did it better in that perspective, to a similar type of alternative sound, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of this album itself, like I said, I enjoyed it. I just didn't really get much from it. It wasn't
exactly
the tie that I wanted. I didn't want the ego death type tie. Although that record at the end,
I fuck with ego death.
That shit was knocking. I was like, this is perfect for the end of the album. But like I said, I didn't love it. It probably will have replay for me. It probably does belong on some playlist type music, but it's just there. It just is what it is. It's
not a standout album.
Body of work. It did not stand out.
It's not
to
for
me.
ETC.
But
it's not a beach party.
No, not at all.
Or house party or whatever
Not
it was
at
called.
all.
Beach house. Beach house feels hard.
That's what I'm saying. It's not even that.
Yeah.
Let's finish up music potpourri though.
Sir.
Let's ask the question, of course, what is in your rotation?
Okay, let's see what I got.
Who we starting with?
Did I start last week?
I
want to say
I want to say you did.
So we'll start on that end.
Okay, I'll go. I'll start. I actually did listen to a lot of fucking music. I wanted to listen to some of the work that I feel like I have in my end of year discussions.
And that's why I want to start that list, so I can start putting numbers to it and say when I listen to it, boom, boom,
just to
boom.
see how I feel. I listened to Spillagin by Spillage Village.
This man said earlier this year, not the shit that came out 2 weeks ago.
Well, no,
I'm joking.
That wasn't going to be part of my list discussion. See, I was going to say Spillagin led me to listening to Deontay Hitchcock.
There we go.
Better.
I didn't let you
Especially that
finish.
he is coming out with a deluxe version. I wanted to go back and listen to his album. Especially the first 5-6 records. This guy is nuts on those first
shout out
few
to Deontay
records.
Hitchcock.
I really enjoyed that, and I tweeted, he's still in top albums of the year discussion.
Fair enough.
He did retweet that, so shout out to
I gotta
Deontay
listen
Hitchcock.
to his album too.
I listened to From a King to a God by Conway the
What's a king
Machine.
to a god?
I mean, don't love it. I listened to The Price of Tea in China by Boldy James. I did have that on my early list for albums of the year.
Was it too
or rap
soon?
albums of the year. I kind of feel the same way about The Price of Tea in China as I feel about
It was
Vic
too
Mensa.
soon.
It's just a little too soon.
At that time, I was
Little
hyping
too
out. I
soon.
remember that Vic Mensa. I was like, yo, this guy's wild. Hyping Vic Mensa like this? I'm like it was a good album, but I was like, album of the year.
I'm like,
yo, okay.
Oh, man.
I'm like, when you see your list,
I
you
listened
probably
to-
Everybody's
agree with that.
entitled to an opinion.
Exactly.
I listened to The Circus by Mick Jenkins. I listened to Pray for Paris by Westside Gunn.
Yeah, same.
I listened to Streams of Thought Volume 3, Cain and Abel, of course, by Black Thought. I don't love Spillage, right? So I listened to Bears Like This Too by Spillage Village. For some reason, I went back and listened to, I guess it was an anniversary, Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar. I listened to Burden of Proof by Benny the Butcher. And for whatever reason, I always accidentally get the clean version, even though now I'm realizing...
Every time. I do that too. I'm like,
you know the parental advisory
so annoying.
there in the corner?
Yeah, it's
clean version actually
it
says
doesn't.
clean version.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Oh, that's new.
I've never seen that.
That's
clean
new,
there.
for
That's
sure.
new.
I wish they would.
Usually,
do that.
it just never says anything,
Fucking
and
yeah.
the dirty version will just say explicit language.
I also listened to Everything Is Love by the Carters. Really enjoyed
Turn
that
that
one.
back.
Listened to Ransom Director's Cut Scene 3. Oh, what a fucking fantastic album. That will be on my list, I promise you. I listened to Those Feels Again by Snow Allegra. And I want to say that is it for me.
All right, Dylan.
Dope. I was listening to Heaven or Hell, Don Toliver, that album.
Do you like that album?
I do actually. Like, I was like, when I was listening to it the other day, I'm like, oh shit, there's actually a lot more songs that I didn't really like before that I kind of feel now.
That's how I feel about it, because I went back to the album a few weeks ago and I was like, it's actually not as bad as I thought it was when I first listened to it.
And I'm actually surprised that I even like Don Toliver, to be honest. Like, because at first when I heard him, like, when I first heard him, I actually did like him, but there's just something about his voice that I didn't like. But listening to him more and more, I'm like, okay, this is actually kind of dope how he uses his voice.
I agree with you.
So
fully,
it makes
110%.
sense why he is where he is right now. He's probably gonna be like one of those next rising stars.
He is.
in the
With
near
they're
future.
pushing that his Internet Money song.
Oh yeah.
They're pushing that.
Super hard. I fuck with it. What else have I been listening to? I've been listening to Chilumbo, Jhené Aiko's album. I absolutely love that album. 10,000 Hours featuring Nas is probably my favorite song. Still to this day. What else? A 3-hour drive, which is off of the Alicia Keys album Alicia. Was featuring Samfo was really good.
That was the new Alicia album, right?
The new Alicia album is really
I did not
good.
bump that yet.
I thought you did.
I don't think
I thought you talked about. Or I think you just talked about wanting to bump
I think
it.
I wanted to. Yeah.
It's really, really good. I'd highly recommend it. Shake the Snow Globe by Russ.
That's a good album.
What?
I love Russ.
He has that. What's that track? He has that track with
So what?
No, not So What. With Ross.
So what?
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's
So
the one. yeah. That's a banger.
That beat is just in my mind.
Super fire. I'm about to listen to it on the drive back. Anniversary by Bryson Tiller. I know Harris isn't really fucking with it. With Bryson.
I feel the same way about Bryson as I do about Ty Dolla Sign. It's just there.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about him.
I can see that, but I really like this album.
But I also
the production
understand
was
the
really good.
respective fan bases, and I'm
A million percent.
not mad at it.
There's a couple more. What else was I listening to? Listening to Egyptian.
Egyptian.
Why not?
The SLR EP. What Wine Slow for me. TikTok for me. Na, 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 na. It's a banger. And then the last one was Crabs in a Bucket by Nines. So he's a UK artist. I don't know if you guys know like Heady One.
Yes.
Those kind of guys. So
The
he
drill
fucks
scene
with
there?
them. Kind of drill, kind of some along those lines. But he has a couple tracks with Northside Benji, who's from Toronto, which are absolute bangers. So I thought I'd take a listen, and the whole album's pretty good. So I've been bumping that recently.
What's the name? Nines?
Nines, yeah, Crabs in a Bucket.
Okay, I'm gonna check him out.
Dope.
Are you done?
That's
Yeah,
it.
I'm done. That's it.
All right. I'm gonna be fast because I ain't really listened to something new, so I just went to old stuff. I went to Die Legend by Polo G. Come Over When You're Sober Part 1 by Lil Peep. Come Over When You're Sober Part 2 by Lil Peep, as we all know. The GOAT by Polo G, his second album.
Yo,
I can love Polo
the
G.
two artists this week.
TOBi, Elements Volume 1. I'll
Featuring
put that
Polo
in
G.
there.
No, I'm joking.
Where are we here? Metro Boomin, 21 Savage, Savage Mode 2. My Life 400. A few songs off that. That's by YG. 2C. Poetic Pain, one of my favorite albums this year. A lot of songs off that. Moneybagg Yo and Black Youngster, Code Red.
Shout out Black Youngster.
That's a good project.
That song, that's fun. That's funny. That's a good project as well.
Hort.
I love that. 2 more albums. Burna Boy, Twice as Tall,
Shout out Burna
and
Boy.
Lil Key Trapped on Cleveland Tree. That's my rotation for the week. You know, same oldies, just
Same old shit. Just a different day.
yeah. Let's go.
All right, let's move on. Before we end the show, quick post-potpourri.
Post-potpourri.
The only thing we want to mention, of course, because we want to make it sound like we mentioned it first. know what I'm saying? Before the news really starts spreading about it. The NBA.
Yes.
The NBA is targeting December 22nd for the start of the 2020-2021 season.
Less than 2 months.
And what they're looking at is a 72-game season that will finish before the 2021 Olympics.
Okay.
And no All-Star weekend. I read that. They're thinking about that. I got out there from the score saying they're thinking just 2-week break.
I can live without All-Star weekend. That's fine.
I know. Just give me the names and that's it. I don't really need to see guys not really try to play basketball.
Good job, buddy.
You're right. I'm not mad at that.
And honestly, after the year we've had, they deserve a break. Come on.
Yeah, bro.
I'm not going to be greedy.
Break. I'm not
let them go home and enjoy some time with their family. But those All-Stars don't even go home to their family.
Yeah, that's
their
true.
families fly out with them to wherever the All-Star weekend is. And if coronavirus is a thing, just let them go home.
Yeah,
that's true. But yeah, I like this. I like their quick turnaround on action. You know, again, we were talking
Money
about
talks,
it.
bro.
Well, the article came out that, you know, in doing bubble NBA, they salvaged or they still generated, I think, 1.5 billion.
Yup, 1.5
or
Bs.
saved 1.5 billion in what would have been wasted revenue or, you know, unearned, whatever it may be.
Okay.
So they definitely showcased their worth with TV deals and just increased viewership, different things like that. So you like the quick turnaround on this. I'm not surprised by it. Again, in our group chat, we were talking about... What's up?
Oh, no. When you're done this, side note, I'm just reading Khabib announces his retirement from UFC.
That makes sense.
Because we weren't watching, so we probably didn't hear him say that. But
that makes
just
sense.
a little side topic.
His father died.
I didn't even know that.
His father died before this match.
Oh, shit.
So this was like...
That's why he was
like
crying.
For my father, and I'm
my
done
God.
after this, you know.
Done.
That's
what
tough, man.
What more do I need to do?
Yo, to go train people. Exactly. Train the next people.
I did this.
He doesn't want Conor again.
That's a waste of fight.
Yeah,
it really is.
There's no point. There's nobody's gonna fight him. That's gonna beat him.
There's just nothing left
point,
for him to do, right? I mean, it's almost Floyd-esque. Like, listen, I did it. I'm gone.
Wow,
why not?
That's crazy.
Unless they might make a mega fight eventually between him and, say, like a George St. Pierre as an example.
Like two retired.
Just to be a super fight for the sake of money.
That'd be great.
Right. But no, I like this from the NBA, and that's kind of all there is to say on that.
Did you listen to Kanye on Joe Rogan yet?
No.
Wait, it dropped today?
It dropped, yeah, something like today or yesterday.
I don't care to
listen. I didn't watch the JBP yet.
I want to listen to it. Let me see what Kanye actually has to say.
Maybe that'll be part of our music potpourri discussion next week.
Yeah,
once it's digested
most likely.
a little bit.
We'll see.
But in the meantime,
choop, 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 choop.
Please cue that music. So with that being said, that will take us to the end, the unfortunate end of another episode of True North Views podcast. I don't know if you guys are watching the TV, but I think they fought 3 or 4 times, right? So you're not tripping out in terms of just like seeing all their matchups. Like they just fought that many times.
I figured that much.
I'm like, why are they showing all these Liddell versus fucking
Couture,
Randy Couture fights? I don't give a fuck about these.
Oldies.
Shout out to Iceman.
I want to say has-been oldies.
Oh,
I'm gonna put it that way.
These guys
but nonetheless, guys, please continue that conversation
by telling a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell
a friend
and your sisters,
please,
and your aunties,
everyone, everyone. You know how it works already. It's 6 degrees of separation.
Your mother.
Now, as usual, I go by the name of Harris.
Oh, I'm Dylan, the caramel god.
I'm the skirt master, Mr. Triple Doubles himself, 0 assist. Stealing 70 mil from the TTC. You can call me just Shola.
Please. Last thing, tell them that number 1 rule.
As the weather gets colder, watch out for the wastemans in gray sweatpants.
Pause.
Pause, I guess.
In pre-production, we were talking about how I've never won before. For
what'd you win?
A little muffin.
Hey!
Okay. Little muffin with my McDonald's Monopoly. Yeah,
I'm about to go buy some right now.
It's a True North Views podcast,
yes,
episode 127.
We out. Yeah.